Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for our Shastra study marathon. And now we have started day 2 discussing on this Harinam Cintamani. And today is 31st March 2025. Okay, and today is also Hari Raya, first day. So therefore, we thought of doing this program for 3 hours, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. So no worries, in between there'll be a break. So as usual, we just do 45 minutes to 1 hour and we take a break. But if you want anyone needs a break, you just can tell, let's stop and listen. Okay? Because the subject is so nectarian and it's too good to miss. Right. So thank you all for joining us on this auspicious morning. And before we do, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttaparakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarjadam Shahagara Raghunathan Vidatam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachati Satarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshapana Vide Vidayitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignanadaine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premade Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namasute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Virda Pasidanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambra Sambodhe Padam Pujayati Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannathaye Te Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Shari Guru Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Garatse Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Nandam Bhakta Shaktitam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinakanto Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kantarada Kantaramaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Srishvanti Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Shukra Krishna Krishna Vijay Pataka Swami Ram Namacharya Padai Nitya Kripa Pradani Dara Bhagavatam Hare Krishna. So the last we met on Friday, and today is after Saturday, Sunday. It looks like a Monday blues, but for devotees, there's no blues because every day is an exciting day. Every day is it's a day of ecstasy, huh? Because we are all engaging in devotional service. So now for all notifications, so many notifications are coming. So anyway, so thank you all for coming. My obeisances to Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Arpiya Saraswati Mataji, Rusan Chang Mataji, Nanda Devi Mataji, Punis, Charanlakshmi Mataji, and Sheila Mataji. Thank you all for joining us early in the morning. So let's make full use of this holiday season in immersing ourselves in this nectarian description of this holiday. Okay, that's first thing. Secondly, on this auspicious day, I mean these holidays. So, if possible, try to chant. Those who are not chanting, those who are chanting less than 16, go for 16. Those who are chanting 16, try to go more. Okay. Because and try to reduce all the other commitment. And because it's a holiday season. Holiday season is a season that we should fully utilize in Krishna conscious activity, especially the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Okay, so without further delay, let's start our program. Okay, so 1 second. Let's maybe adjust. Last week we were 150. This one, right? Is it okay? Is it very clear for everyone?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, now let's do a quick recap what we have learned on last Friday. So last week we have spoke about this introduction, right? Then the most important part is we spoke about this. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what he does is simply go and meet all his pure devotees. Okay, he meet his pure devotees and ask them. All right, so he's used to create the conversation because he wants to hear the nectarian pastime about all these from a pure devotee. Okay, so he simply select a devotee and he asked a question. So therefore, he went to ask this Namacharya Haridas Thakur about this chanting of the holy name, and of course, Haridas Thakur was so humbled, so he felt at the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and begged him, says that whatever things that I'm getting, what I'm saying, it is just like from you actually, right? So and at that time, Haridas Thakur has came into this Baba. Haridas Thakur shivered and tears poured from his eyes in great humility. He spoke, "Oh Lord, your lila is very deep. I have absolutely nothing. I have nothing. Your lotus feet are my only possession." Right? Then after that, he says, "You are Krishna himself, or you are spiritual son." Okay. Okay. So the thing that we have learned, okay, this is considered very intense, very high standard learning. Okay. So, and I hope that you all make full use of this opportunity to learn this in detail. Okay, because we are going very, very detailed and in very, very depth. So a person is completely independent act according to his desire. He exists as supreme truth, one without second. That means there's nothing before and after him. Okay. It is inconceivably always in the company of the eternal energy. That means it's inconceivably. That means it cannot be understood, but always in the company of his eternal energies. Okay. So these energies, okay, then he was always with the eternal energy. Eternal energy means the Ladini Shakti and all the Shakti Jiva is one of the energy of the Lord. Right? Then these energies are never independent of Krishna. None of them are independent of Krishna, rather, they are intimately related with him. Okay. Intimately related. You know, sometimes when you see the red hot iron, you know, we take an iron rod and put in the fire. Okay. The fire, that means the iron is hot. Okay. The energy is the heat energy, but the heat energy remains stick on that metal iron. You understand what I mean? Say, like for example, when we touch, that's when we feel the hot. But when you look, when you heat up the iron, all right, there's energetic, and the energy that released from that iron, all right, that means what they call the what do you call that? The heat energy remains stick on that iron. So like that, all that energies are never independent of Krishna. Rather, they are intimately related with Krishna. That means they are very, very okay. Right. So intimately, what they call related to Krishna. All right, this stated in Vedic mantras. Krishna is the independent principle. That means Krishna is what? Krishna is independent principle conscious entity. Okay, Krishna is independent conscious energy, and the energies are his attributes. Okay, energies are his attributes. They can never be independent. And now that's why Krishna is called, maybe called as Vibhu, right? Or Vibhu means what? What we have done, Vibhu, or in other words, Vibhudi. Okay, not that Vibhudi that we put, this is Vibhudi, Vibhu or Vibhudi. right? That means he's the omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent master, and the manifestations from his energies are all other existing, right? And all other existing phenomena may be called Vaibhava. Okay, now let me do it again. Okay, so that means he is Vibhu. Vibhu. So Vibhu means Vibhu or Vibhudi. That means he's the omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. He's everywhere. He's internal, external. He's omnipotent. He has all kind of energies, all the power and everything. That's why Krishna is called as Vibhu or Vibhudi, right? And the manifestation from his energy. That means things that come out from his energy. Okay, manifestation. All right, like when you look at the sun now, the sun is rising. The manifestation of the sun is the rays. Okay, then the manifestation of a hot iron is the heat. Okay, then now I'm telling, okay, I love you so much. Okay, I just simply say, okay, I think I'm in love with you, this and that. Okay, say if I go meet my wife, I say, I'm in love with you. Okay, all my children, I'm in love with you so much. So just by saying it is nothing, but the manifestation of the love, that seeing them being happy, like my children comes back, I feel like hugging them, talking to them nicely, laughing with them. That is that manifestation of the love. I hope you all follow me. Okay, are you all following me on this? So there's a manifestation. So what is that manifestation of vibhuti? Manifestation of, okay, now you see, okay, Krishna is omniscient, Krishna is omnipresent, Krishna is omnipotent. How? So all the things is in manifestation, is being expressed out. Okay, when I love someone, I have to express my feeling to that person. Okay, I cannot simply just say I love you. Right. So what is the manifest? By giving rose, by talking some sweet words. That is the manifestation. And what is that manifestation of vibhuti? So now we understand vibhuti means okay. So Krishna is called as vibhuti. Okay, vibhu. All right. Sometimes we also call it as vibhuti. All right. And his manifestation. Okay. So that means and his manifestation. How does he manifest in vibhuti? The manifestation of vibhuti is manifestations of vibhuti. That means manifest all these existent what they call qualities and everything. It is called as Vaibhava. Okay, you all follow me on this now? Okay, so this is very, very important. All right, this is Vaibhava. So Vaibhava means what? Manifestation of vibhuti. And what is vibhuti means? Or vibhu, that means it is the Krishna is all energy, everything, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient energy. And how he express it out, how he manifests it, the manifestation is called as Vaibhava. Okay? Everyone follow me on this? Any question? Who don't follow? If you follow, put a thumbs up so I know that you are following me. All right. Punesh, you understand. Good. How about others? Anyone? Oh, okay, Nanda Madan. Great. Because this is something even I struggle to understand. Okay, I struggle to understand. That's why I'm just like making a stress the point. So now we understand Vaibhava means the energy that has been manifested from Vibhuti. Okay, now, or Vaibhava. And what another word of Vaibhava in this thing is a opulent expression of his factual existence. Okay, is what they call is opulent expression, how he expresses himself, right? Yet in the midst of unlimited countless energy, that means in the midst, that means there is so many energies, but in between of that, countless energies scattered throughout the endless time, Krishna still remain as separate and independent independent in his original form. Even there's a lot of energies that still go roaming around him and everything. In the midst, he still remain as the original person. Right now, so it's true this energy, this Vaibhava of the Vibhu, the Vaibhava, the energies from the energetic Vibhu, that the Lord presence can be perceived. That's why we can perceive the Lord's presence. Now, the manifestation of this, okay, now another topic that we have heard, okay, it is the manifestation from Krishna's energy of the three types. That means the manifestation of Krishna's energy of three types. That means that Krishna is spiritual. His manifestation of the energy is also spiritual. All right. The fire is hot. The fire is hot. The manifestation is heat. Okay, you all follow me? Hot produce heat. Chillness produce cold produce chillness. All right, the manifesting. So in this manifestation of Krishna's energy got three types. Number and what they call that? They call it Chit Vaibhava. So the word Chit means, okay, the word Chit means what? It is spiritual. All right, Chit Vaibhava means spiritual. Okay, so that's why it says here spiritual, and Vaibhava is manifestation. Okay. Okay. Now, where does this thing coming from? It's coming from, okay, it's coming from Krishna's spiritual potency. Okay, all these are coming Krishna's spiritual potency because Krishna is spiritual and his potencies are also spiritual. Now, there's another thing, another opposite of this Chit Vaibhava. When you put the A in front, when you put the A in front, it becomes a cheat. Okay, not acid. It smells like acid. Like the day I was telling my children said, "What is it, acid Vaibhava?" I said, "What is acid Vaibhava?" I said, "What are you talking?" They said, "No, look at the spelling acid." Okay, no, in Sanskrit, the word C, we pronounce it cha. Right? Cha, cha. Okay, not C, right? Cha. So a Chit Vaibhava. So now when there's a Chit Vaibhava, there's an opposite. When you put the A in front, it becomes a Chit Vaibhava. So a Chit Vaibhava means what? That means the first is Chit Vaibhava means spiritual. And Achit, that means the opposite of spiritual is dull. Right? It's a dull matter. And what is the dull things here? It is unconscious material world. What does that mean, unconscious material world? See, in spiritual world, everything is conscious. Krishna, his flute, his ornaments, his dress, the grass, the trees, the creepers, the birds, every single atom in what they call in spiritual world, it is full of consciousness. All right, it is everything is full of consciousness. Example, if you go back to Goloka Vrindavan, I mean, not if you will, but once you go back home, back to Godhead, so suddenly you feel, I want to become a grass on the pathway of Krishna. So you just simply become a grass so that Krishna can walk on you and you get a lot of pleasure. Then after that, you feel like whatever manifestation that you want to take in this spiritual world, you could do it. That is what is called as full conscious. The entire universe, entire spiritual world, from starting from Vaikuntha Loka up to Goloka Vrindavan, it's everything, it is conscious. All right. But the opposite part, that means now, see, like there's a sun is rising from here, and I see a lot of shadow on my, what they call on my this thing. So that means, okay, now I'm putting my hand here, now I can see my shadow. So that means what? This is conscious. This is, my hand is conscious, but the shadow, even though it's moving exactly like my hand, but the shadow is unconscious. Right? So as long as my hand is there, the shadow exists. But now when I'm moving my hand like this, now I'm seeing a lot of shadows are going. So exactly how my hand is going up and exactly how my hand is coming down, all right? There's shadow exactly manifesting. But the shadow is unconscious. If I keep my hand, the shadow doesn't move by itself. It only moves when my hand is moving. So similarly, the conscious living entity, right, are kept in an unconscious material world. That's why this material world is called the shadow of the spiritual world. It is unconscious material world. Okay. And jiva, or countless souls, small particles of the spirit, right? So this is the dull matter. So in this is the statement of scripture. So Chit Vaibhava means spiritual manifestation. Sometimes when you look at this lifeless thing, people are fighting and dying for it. They are working so hard. I mean, what they call exchanging their precious life, taking such a big risk. Like sometimes they, like some people do like daredevil. Sometimes will do all this kind of dangerous stunt just to make some money. All right. And what they do with the money, they go and like for example, people travel extra, they travel overseas, they go to work and all this just to make some extra money. For what? So at the end of the day, they can buy things which is lifeless, like gold, diamond, property, cars. All these things are actually achieved by Baba. Right? So we are achieved by Baba. That means we have spiritual potency. We are exchanging our precious life for Achit Vaibhava or for dull unconscious matter. All right. So now let's look at Chit Vaibhava. What does Chit Vaibhava means? Okay, manifestation. So now Chit Vaibhava is mentioned. I mean, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying Chit Vaibhava consists of Krishna's abode. That means the place called Goloka Vrindavan Vaikuntha Loka. Right? Just like the unlimited number of Vaikuntha planets. Okay. And Krishna's unlimited name. Second is Krishna's unlimited name. So Chit Vaibhava means one is Krishna's abode. Second is Krishna's unlimited name, such as Govinda, Hare, Krishna, Keshavaya, Narayana, Madhusudana. All these are Krishna's unlimited name. There's a second Chit Vaibhava. Number three is Krishna's unlimited form. He has so many forms, such as two-handed holding the flute, four-handed in all these things. And number four, Krishna's extraordinary qualities, like affectionately giving bliss to his devotees. All right. And number five, Krishna's pastimes, such as Rasa Leela of Raja and the Sankirtan activities and so on. Okay. So even though the spiritual manifestation, that means now spiritual what? Manifestation. Again, we see it in Sanskrit, that is Chit Vaibhava. Spiritual manifestation. Okay, looks like can descend to material world. That means the Chit Vaibhava from the spiritual world can descend, come to the material world and be visible. That means it can be seen and also could be understood by the living entity. Who is the living entity? The dull matter, Achit Vaibhava. Even though we are here, we can understand the Chit Vaibhava that come from spiritual world, come to this material world, but they still remain spiritually untouched. Okay, we cannot say Krishna became a spiritual material Krishna and all the pastimes are material and all their living relationship is lust, and what the way that Krishna kills the demon, it is something which is not fair. Like some of the demoniac South Indians are talking about. They think that Ravana is the Tamil king. All these kind of nonsense, bogus thoughts. All right. Because Ravana was never born in Tamil Nadu. He was born somewhere in North Gujarat, right? That place. But because he remains there, and then they start to create some kind of hatred. Oh, what they call a king from the north came and killed the king from the. Until today, they keep some temples for Ravana and all these kind of things, right? So that means we understand. That means even though all these things happening, right? That means the Krishna came, brought down these things. So Krishna, Ramachandra, and all these, they don't become an ordinary, normal living entity. They still remain untouched by the material influence. Achit Vaibhava. Material influence is Achit Vaibhava. All these is intimately related to Krishna, and that the intimate relations of Krishna is called Vishnu Pad, or throughout the Vedas. Okay. So now we have already spoke or understood that Chit Vaibhava and Achit Vaibhava. Okay. So now there's another thing. Then after that, there's says that okay, across the river Viraja. That means river Viraja we also have discussed last week. River Viraja is the river that separates material world and spiritual world. Okay, there's a border, river border. Okay, separating boundary, opposite Vishnu form. Okay, opposite the form of Vishnu or spiritual abode. Okay, and other spiritual matter lies a non-spiritual realm, a place which is non-spiritual, that is composed by universe of 14 planetary system. Okay, we discussed that last Friday, right? And this place is under control of Lord's illusory energy. It's under control of Lord's illusory energy, and that place is called Devi Dham, or the abode of Maya. All of us are under this. We are living in this place called Devi Dham, or the place of Maya. And the thing is composed of 5 material elements. Okay, and plus mind, intelligence, and false ego. Those who missed that last week class, please go and watch the video because I discussed, I explained this in detail, right? So all these things which also forms the gross and subtle bodies. Okay, how the gross and subtle body is created from this universe is there of the living entity. And the 7 upper planet and 7 lower planet system are all contained within Achit Vaibhava. Okay, so even though that upper planet of this 14 planet system, you can see heaven, you can see Satyaloka on all this kind of spiritual realm and everything, but still they are under the control of Achit Vaibhava or the material non-spiritual manifestation. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to continue our discussion on Jaiva Vaibhava. Okay, just give me a second. Huh? The sun is sitting straight, the reflecting. Oh, we can put up. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, now what we're going to start here is Jaiva Vaibhava. So what is Jaiva Vaibhava? So we spoke about two, Chit Vaibhava, the spiritual manifestation of spiritual energy, Achit Vaibhava, that is the manifestation of dull energy, which is non-spiritual and materialistic, or Krishna's external energy. So now let's look at Jaiva Vaibhava. So what is Jaiva Vaibhava? Whereas the spiritual manifestation, in the place spiritual manifestation, again, it's just a reminder, or which is called Chit Vaibhava, okay, is the full spiritual principle. Okay, it's the full spiritual principle. That means Chit Vaibhava means the full spiritual thing, and the illusory material world is called Achit Vaibhava, is a shadow. Okay, I hope everyone are following me. Please underline or in your book. But now the third thing is jivas are atomic particle of spiritual element. So we as jiva is an atomic atom. So that means in a huge manifestation, atom is just a simple that cannot be seen atom. Just like a drop of the sea water, just a little drop of the sea water, entire ocean, just take a little drop. All right, like that. So that means first is we understand Chit Vaibhava as a spiritual manifestation. Achit Vaibhava is illusory material world. And the third thing is shadow. Okay, the third thing is Jiva, the atomic particle of spiritual element. Atomic particle. Okay, please pay attention to this. If you don't understand, please raise your hand and ask question, because this is something very, very important to learn. And this is the one, who learns this? Those who are doing this Bhakti Vaibhava. Those who are going on a very high standard of understanding the Shastras, study this matter in detail. Right? So somehow or other we are doing it now. So by the grace of Krishna, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada and our founder Acharya, and all the previous acharyas, including our own spiritual master, we got this great opportunity to understand this. So if you don't understand, stop immediately. Just raise your hand and we discuss about that. All right. So now, Chit Vaibhava, spiritual manifestation, Achit Vaibhava, illusory potency. And the third thing is Jiva, the atomic part. So that means when you look at that, I'll say like just now I put a shadow, right? So that means the spiritual world is big and the shadow of material universe is vast, right? But here we are just a particle. You understand what I mean? So Chit Vaibhava is huge Achit Vaibhava is huge, and in between they are just like a little dot, atom. Now you are seeing the sun rising. You go there, you go near the tree, you can see the sun is there, and there's a lot of particles, and dot things are there, right? So because the dew is going up and reflecting with the sun, looks there's so many particles, as though the particles are like as though like that sometimes they call jigna. What they call jigna in English? The sparkling dust. All right, the sparkling dust. As though you throw the sparkling dust and everything starts sparkling, like that. So although the sparkling dust is coming to us, right? So that sparkling dust, the dust or the dot, the thing in the sun is actually. So that means the sun is huge, the rays is white, but we are just like a sparkling dust. All right. So jivas are atomic particle of spiritual element. Because the jiva are spiritual in character, because the jivas are spiritual in character, please underline this statement. Very, very important statement. They also have some degree of independence. Okay. They have some degree of independence. Some may ask, well, when Krishna comes, why not he just take everybody and go back? Why you need to create this kind of drama? You come, you surrender to me, you worship me, and then after that, you start to chant my mantra. Then after you are perfect, look for a guru, you surrender to a guru, accept initiation. Then after you accept initiation, listen to him. Then after that, by doing that, and also Krishna says, if you claim yourself as my devotee, I do not accept you. Because if you become the devotee of my devotee, then I accept you. Why you need all this kind of drama? Why can't just Krishna come and take everybody back home? Why you need to come down in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Why you need to create all this kind of many religion, right? There's so many religions and they create different ideology. All right, even the core ideology is there, but the manifestation of that ideology is misinterpreted in many religions, even in this our religion, Sanatan Dharma. There's so much of misinterpretation. All right, there's a lot of misinterpretation. That means they simply interpret some sadhus come, some Mayavadi, some bogus guys come. They simply rewrite or give commentary or to this kind of scripture. So that means what is the why? Why you need to create these kind of things? And you have to create many varieties of human being. And that many varieties of human being, and that even though that person, you only get attracted to only one person in this entire world, and you get married to him or her. So like that. So why the drama? Why not Krishna just come and take every one of us? Okay, come, chalo, let's go. Enough. Okay, all of you, you all behave yourself. Will you behave yourself? Will you still think that you want to imitate me? You want to be Purusha? No, my lord. Okay, good. Come, let's go back. He could just do that. But why you need to do all this kind of huge process by giving Vedas, and the Vedas has been, out of the Vedas, 70% of the Vedas has been destroyed and lost. And the 30% surviving Vedas are mostly on Mayavadi philosophy or this speculation, right? And part of the Vedas that has been extracted out by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, okay? It is Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, he spoke about that, Bhagavad Gita escaped that, we see. Then he gave this Chaitanya Charita. Why need all these kind of things? Because there's a question. Anyone had that question before? Because this is simple. There's a question that usually people ask. Why can't just Krishna come and take us and go? Anyone had that idea before? If you have that idea, just thumbs up. Why not Krishna just take us back? Why need to have all this drama? Anyone? Anyone had the thought? Oh, no one, huh? Wow, very good luck. I mean, first of all, Nanda Mataji had the thought, okay. Wow, others are really exalted. But others, do you understand what my question or not, first of all? Who don't understand my question? Thumbs up. Everybody understand my question. All right. Okay. I think because it's too early. Still blur blur. Yeah. Lah. I also feel blur blur. All right. Anyway, why? Why do Krishna do that? Why Krishna need to create this kind of drama? Because Krishna have given us some degrees of independence. He has given us some degree of independence, right? So we have this kind of minute independence. So Krishna is such a gentleman, such a person. He never interferes in your independence, right? He stays in your heart as Paramatma. You feel you want to be a god, then he create all the things to convince these foolish people that why you are a god. Krishna will inspire you from the heart. You know, you feel like you want to go and eat all that nonsense things. No, we call it nonsense lah. So, like for instance, meat and everything. Krishna inspires you where you can get the best meat. You know, if you want whatever things you want to do, Krishna is inspiring. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right, 13.23. Okay, because we keep discussing that. 13.23, Krishna says, I am the permitter and I am the this thing that I allow you to have this kind of things. Okay, so so I am the permitter. So he gives you, and he's the witness and he's the permitter. He allows you, he's the one who gives you this thing. And of course, all this because you have this kind of thing called independent. Just like sometimes you can say, this is my right. You fight for my right. I have my right. That means you're trying to show your independence. But still you are sick, you are taken care by the government hospital. The government hospital won't say, this is government hospital. So you like to talk big, right? No treatment for you. They don't say that. So similarly, even that we want independence, Krishna in the heart will fulfill that independence. He doesn't come and say, you are against me. So you are edirkachi, your opposition. He don't say that. Right? And because we have some degree of independence, that's why we are stuck here. So we have to make the decision. The moment of decision, a man's destiny is shaped. So what is the decision that we should take? Enough is enough. I have suffered enough in this material world. This is not a cool place, right? One day I'm very happy, and the next moment I can go into a very severe depression, distress. I see people who are so nice, but they have some hidden agenda. They have their true color. So enough of me living in this the place of hypocrite, right? In the place that quarrelsome. Kali Yuga is a place of quarrel and hypocrisy. Enough. So I want to get out of this place. You have to make that decision because Krishna has given you independence of choice. You choose what you want. Anything that you want, he'll give it to you. Right? So there's some degree of independence. That's why we are here. That's why Krishna gave you all that. You choose. You want to come, you come. You want to stay here, it's up to you. Your decision. I will never get involved. Okay? All right. So now Jiva spiritual, that character, they also have some degree of independence. At the same time, have the potentiality of unlimited bliss. Okay, he also has the potentiality of unlimited bliss, which is natural to the spiritual realm. All right, these things are natural to the spiritual realm. Okay, so that means we also have the potentiality of unlimited bliss, and we also have that thing of which is natural. Okay, that means in spiritual world, unlimited bliss is something which is very natural, right? But here, when we get a little bliss, we become so excited. But there it is natural. Okay, so natural to the spiritual realm. Okay, those jivas who resort to Krishna, that means what? He surrenders or search for Krishna, right? He searches for Krishna. He surrenders to Krishna. He seek Krishna. Okay? Okay? Jivas who resort to Krishna to attain that bliss remain as liberated souls. Right? Those jivas who resort to Krishna, who take guidance and listen to Krishna, attains that bliss. To attain that bliss, okay, remain as liberated soul, eternally associated with Krishna. So once we have that we resort to Krishna because we want to attain that bliss, and that bliss which is natural, right? Say like for instance, if you are an Indian, right? You go to any Western countries or any other countries, you can't remain like that, right? Like for instance, okay, I'll give you a good example. Like we have Chinese devotees are coming up. The Chinese devotees, Even the Chinese devotees are joining us, Hare Krishna movement. Sometimes they can't tolerate puri, chapati, and rice. And curry especially. Curry especially. Because for them, natural diet is noodles. Okay. And their preparation is without spice, without lot of what do you call flavoring. Okay, that means they don't put lot of curry powder, masala, and all these things. Their food is simple. Okay, so that's why when you go to any Chinese shop, they can cook very fast. 5 minutes they can prepare a dish for you because there's no seasoning, there's no nothing, just cook. So for them to come and to be eating this Indian food, at one moment they cannot take it. All right, we have seen the devotees from China when they come, they look at all our prasadam, they get scared. Oh no 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 Prabhu, no Prabhu. I cannot take all this. So they cook themselves. So what I'm saying is, so the natural diet is according to the ethnicity or the body that given by Krishna. Okay, but now, what is our natural tendency as a devotee or as a person? Our naturally we are all blissful people in that spiritual world. So once you want to get that back, you resort to Krishna. And once you resort to Krishna, you are known as the liberated soul, eternally associated with Krishna. But thinking of his own happiness. But now what happens if he thinks for his own happiness? And if one has selfishly desire to enter into the neighboring abode of Maya. Okay, neighboring Maya. The neighbor of that is Maya. What do he do? He turns away from Krishna and takes a material body in the material universe. Now you all understand what happened? Why have we taken our material body? The reason is because we thought of our own happiness. Okay? And we have a selfish desire. Because when we see Krishna is having so much of fun, what you're supposed to do, you should join him to have fun. All right? Just like what they call, you become the servant of the king, and you see the opulent of the king, the way the king is served. He had so many wives. He's got a queen, and the people come and kowtow to them. They say, wow, they see, until I start to have the desire to become a king. If I become a king, what will happen? But the material king, if you have such desire, the material king will behate you, will slaughter you, cut your head off. But the spiritual king, the Lord Krishna, is so merciful. What he did? You really want to do that? Let me create an entire universe. So go to my neighbor. You can go there and enjoy yourself. Because here, nobody will allow you that. Because when you want someone to worship you, there should have someone that will worship you. But in my spiritual world, no one will even worship you. No one will worship you. Because everybody worships me only. Therefore, I'll create a universe. You go there and become an Ishvara. Become a controller. Enjoy yourself. So, but only once you go there, you cannot go in this spiritual body. You cannot go in this body because this body is exclusive for Vaikuntha Vasi and also Goloka Vasi. So you go through the Vajra river, then you accept the first form. Last week I've explained, right? The first three layers: false ego, intelligence, mind. So you just go through the first three layer. You accept. That means you go through. That means as though you're accepting the thing. Like video game, you go there, boop, boop, you take the thing. You accept the three form, right? The three forms. You accept the first thing. You accept that ahankar, false ego. Like that, you accept the first three forms. That is subtle body. So once you come into the subtle body, you come back and they see a lot of huge material manifestation. So what happened? Once you come back from Goloka Vrindavan, you'll become a king. You become a very opulent king. You become maybe an emperor. So once you come there, you start to enjoy life. Wow, this is what I wanted. From Krishna Loka, wow, I saw the way the Krishna, now I have my concubines, I have so many wives, I have people come and worship me. I got all the people call and say, Rajadi Raja, Raja Gambira, Raja Martanda, Varar, the king, hey, long live the king. These kind of things, wow, I'm having a good life. And people are coming and giving me the most expensive gift. And I'm wearing a so expensive dress. My sword is all made of gold and diamond. I'm eating lavish food. Wow, I enjoy. Then what happened? you forget your constitutional position. You're supposed to enjoy, give up, and go back. You come here just to enjoy. But once you come there, you start to say, wow, 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 wow. Then you give up the ball. So, what is your biggest wow? Wow, this, wow, that, wow, that. What is your biggest wow? My biggest wow, I love to eat varieties of food. I've got 100 chefs. Every day they have to prepare me food, and that food should not be repeated. Imagine, you know. So every day they cook something. I've eaten this. Wow. Next day, new food. Wow. Because Krishna is having the same thing. Radharani doesn't cook the food that has been cooked before for eternally. Every day is something new. So you also want to do that. So you got so many chefs. Wow, 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 wow. Pop, you die. So what is the biggest wow? To eat. Eat as much as you want. Eat lavish. Eat everything. And Krishna says, then the law of nature says, well, wow, tongue and eating your biggest wow. Then from the king, boom, you fall down next birth as a pig. You know? Hey, why did you put me in the pig body? You love to eat. Because as a human being, you cannot eat every day. You cannot eat 365. You cannot eat for 24 hours. Your stomach can't take it, right? Yes, I give you the form of a pig. You go on eating 24 hours. Eat everything. Eat shit, stool. Eat everything is available. Eat. Oh, then, then after that you start to grow up. Then you go through that kind of suffering, miserable. That's when we fall into this. Okay, just giving an analogy, right? So from the Krishna it takes material body in the material universe. So having fallen into this revolving wheel of continuous activity, revolving wheel, that means samskara. That means not a human that go abominable that like that, you go around revolving around the wheel in 8.4 million species. And with continuous activities, all kind of activities you do, you take the form of a pig, you eat stool. Then you become a like chakuri bird. Imagine how terrible chakuri bird. If you become a chakuri bird, you only drink the water that falls from the sky. See how wonderful Krishna creates living entity. In the village of India, when they see chakuri bird, they get excited because they know rain is coming. Right? Because when the rain comes, the chakuri bird put the open and put it. It only drinks the rainwater. Can you see? Like yesterday, the crow that we have taken. He just fly around and around. What is he trying to achieve? All right. With this continuous activity, whether it's going to be good or bad, and their results, okay, and with their results. So the jiva wanders throughout the universe. That means you are not only be here. That means we are wandering in all over the universe, in all the 14 planetary system. Sometimes we go to Swarga, heaven. Sometimes we go to hell, Naraka. Swarga, Naraka. We go to Swarga, or in Malay we call Shurga. Shurga, either you go to Shurga or you go to Naraka, Naraka, Malay, right? So Malay language is actually it is Sanskrit. So either we go to Swarga or you go to Naraka, hell. All right. So you go there. Then after that, taking birth in this material body to enjoy life. In where? In all 8,400,000 species of beings. So abominable, so terrible. But as you are the Lord, but then after that, Haridas Thakur saying, but as you are the Lord, the controller of the jivas, and the jivas is your energy. That means you are the Lord, the controller of the jiva, and that jiva is your energy. Right? And you are always thinking of their welfare. So Krishna is just thinking of our welfare. Right? So whatever happiness jiva may seek, whatever happiness the jiva may seek, you kindly bestow it. Just an example I gave you just now. So Krishna is the permitter and Krishna is the seer. So he just bestow whatever happiness he wants. Krishna simply gives. Therefore, one who desires impermanent happiness in the material world achieves without difficulty by Lord's mercy. Sometimes they ask, if I pray to Krishna, will I get it? Now it's what they call Haridas Thakur saying yes. In material world, one who desires impermanent happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be a jamin. I want to have 4 children. I want to have at least 30 grandchildren. No, புள்ள குட்டி பேர பிள்ளையோட சந்தோஷமா சேமமா வாழணும். No, all these family members and everything, So I'm going to see. So it will be get without this thing. So all the process to achieve this happiness, that means all the process, okay, all the process to achieve this happiness of sense gratification. All right, that means happiness through our senses, plus such as the rules of Varna and Ashrama, Yagna, Yoga, Homa, Vrata, which are pious activities, are simply material without spiritual transcendental nature at all. Okay, so what does it mean? All the process to achieve happiness. That means the process of being achieve happiness is by through the sense gratification, to satisfy my eyes, through my senses. Okay, and such rules like Varna Ashram, oh, I'm Varna Ashram, oh, I'm a high caste, so therefore I supposed to get a upper hand, I'm a high caste, oh, I'm a sannyasi, I supposed to be the head of the spiritual movement. All these kind of rules of Varna Ashram, Yagna. Yagna means fire sacrifice, yoga, mystic yoga, to understand ourselves. Homa. Homa means you do this Agni Hotra Homa, some people are doing Homa. That means Homa means small, Yagna means big. Big fire, small fire. Okay, Homa. And Vrata. Vrata means what? Fasting. Right? Oh, now it's Amavasya fasting, Paurnami fasting, that fasting, these fasting, everywhere fasting, fasting, fasting. All right? So, which are all pious activities. These are all called pious activities. That means a spiritual activity, pious. That means you are a good person, pious. Or Punya Karyam in Tamil we call pious activities. But Haridas Thakur says, all these simply material without spiritual transcendental nature. So all this kind of thing is simply material. There's no spiritual. You can chant all the prayers, you can chant all the great mantras, but all these are simply material activity, and there's no transcendental nature at all. You got it? At all. So the result of this practice, so what is the result of this practice? All right, is the idea of elevation to higher planets. That means the idea is to elevate. That means the idea is to go back to heaven, elevate to higher planet. And why you go there for what? For sense enjoyment. These are material and temporary. Sometimes we as a rubber tapper or a tin mine worker or whatever simple basic things, we work so hard to educate our children, because the children can go to the higher level. So when they go to higher level, say like for instance, a rubber tapper's son become a doctor. Okay, he rubber tapper, but the son becomes a doctor. So the son went to the higher level. So he goes to higher level and do what? That means more sophisticated sense gratification, more happiness. Okay, but the poor man who works so hard, okay, and what he gets, another kind of ecstatic feeling. See, the son has gone so big in life, but that is so good. So all these elevation, even our career, even this material world, all these enjoyment are material and temporary. Thus, in such activities for satisfying the temporary senses in the activity, to satisfy these temporary senses, the soul remains unsatisfied. The soul remains unsatisfied. The attempt to achieve happiness, right, or by gaining a temporary situation in a higher planet is a gross error of the soul. So that means, first, by doing all these kind of activities, we are not satisfied. We remain unsatisfied. At the same time, the attempt to achieve happiness, that means we're putting our effort to achieve happiness by gaining this through this temporary situation, like going to heaven, all right? Like a temporary happiness, like going to a higher planet. So what Haridas Thakur is mentioning here is something that we should really look at it. Please underline. Higher planet is a gross error by the soul. That means gross error means it is a big mistake. So it is a huge mistake. It is a big mistake, right? So it says that this is something which is totally unacceptable. Okay, we understand. We are using all these things. We are doing this Varnashram, Yagya, Yoga, Homa, Vrata, like there's some movement, they says, okay, on every Purnami is a day that we should fast and meditate. We want to, we want to achieve that. We want to achieve that, we want to achieve that Chandra, the strength of the moon, the moon energy, right? And they also call the moon bath. The last time I had one friend, he had a big house, huge, fantastic, as a multi-millionaire, but he got a house, he got a shower in his garden. And I was looking at the garden, I said, what is shower for? Oh, that means once in a while, you come out, you like to have a shower in the outside, in the pub. He said, no, the shower is the moon shower. I said, what is moon shower? During the full moon, when the moon is full, he like to go under the full moon and on the thing, and he take his bath under the full moon. They call moon shower. I said, what does that mean? Oh, that means you will get the benefit from the moon. So all these kind of things are only temporary. All right. And all this going back to moon planet and going to the Satyaloka and all these things it is a gross mistake, gross error. All right. It's not an ordinary error. It's a gross error for the devotee or the soul to aspire. All right. So now it's 9 o'clock. Right. We have just done 1 hour. We take a 2-3 minutes break. Right. Just just contemplate what we have learned now. Let's take 2 or 3 minutes, then we come back. Okay, just get up, stretch yourself, because we're going to do for 3 hours. Now, I don't want you to feel very tensed up. So just take a break. We will meet again. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, in care also the book is not is unavailable. Prabhu.
What is that?
In care also the book is unavailable. Cintamani, about the Cintamani book. Care also unavailable. I find out.
Unavailable. Oh, okay. Never mind, you can print out.
Yes,
That's why printing option. Okay, now we have said, okay, higher planet is a gross mistake. Similarly, now, Haridas Thakur is continuing. Similarly, by the mercy of devotees, right? Similarly, by the mercy of the devotees, a jnani may perform activities of bhakti. A jnani also can perform activities of bhakti. Such jnana mixed with devotional activities is also classified as secondary path of bhakti, right? Now, he's explaining what is that, the level of bhakti. That means by the mercy of devotee, some or other, they went and explained to jnani. Jnani means the speculative understanding. The speculative, those who do the speculative knowledge, all right? Or in other words, like Mayavadi, right? Jnanis, Mayavadis, all right? So they may also perform bhakti. But that bhakti, which is mixed with jnana and devotional activity, is still classified as secondary path of bhakti. All right? But such a jnani easily arrives at the stage of faith in Krishna. All right? So this jnani, because they also have the knowledge, but the knowledge is corrupted, they just need to clear up some knowledge here and there. So they can easily arrive at the stage of faith in Krishna and can quickly proceed in full devotional service. Okay? Then the servant jivas, desiring of trifling fruits in the hell of the material world. Now, what they call Haridas Thakur is mentioning, the jivas, trifling, that means they just keep juggling, enjoying. Okay, the desiring for trifling fruits, the fruits that it doesn't last, right? In the hell of material world. So material world is also called as hell by him. Okay, what happened? They reject their master. They may reject their master. But Krishna, knowing what is best for their welfare, forces them to give up that enjoyment, bhukti, and result from the fruitive activity, karma, and the liberation mukti resulting from speculative endeavor, jnana. Right? And at last bestow the sweet fruit of devotion to Krishna. So what does that mean? The servant, sometimes they are trifling in the fruits, okay, in the hell of material world. So what they do, they reject their master. Okay, they reject their master. Okay, but Krishna, knowing the best for their welfare. Krishna knows what is the best for them. So what sometimes he do, he forces them to give up that enjoyment, okay, or bhukti. So you see, give up that enjoyment, all right, resulting the enjoyment that result from activities like karma, okay, and also give up that enjoyment that by achieving liberation or mukti, all right, which is and also which resulting from the speculative endeavor jnana. So now we understand this thing. So how a living entity is trapped in these trifling fruits in this material world. Number one is bhukti, that means enjoyment that come from karma. Okay, that means you have to do something to enjoy, right? So the bhukti or the enjoyment that comes from karma or activities, all right, at the same time, they also aspire for liberation, mukti, that comes from speculative endeavor, jnana. Okay, that means I have studied all these things. Now I've studied all these books. So now I want to merge into the light. I want to achieve mukti. Okay, mukti. But why I aspire for mukti? Because I speculated on the Vedic literature says that God is formless, God is light. I want to merge into that light. Right? So that's come from jnana, or this is a speculative endeavor. Right. But at last, he bestows sweet fruit. First is trifling fruit. The fruit that sometimes can be sour, can be bitter, not ripe, and all these kind of varieties of fruits. But at last, after Krishna interferes, he says he will at last bestow. It means he gives you the sweet fruit of devotion to Krishna. Okay, which is called bhakti. Right? So now we understand here. First is bhukti, that is enjoyment that comes from karma. Then mukti, that's liberation that comes from jnana. But Krishna remove all these and he gives you devotion, which is called bhakti. So it is only by the mercy of the Lord. It's only by the mercy of the Lord who is made of pure mercy. That means mercy of the Lord means Krishna is pure mercy, that he puts the jiva on a secondary path. All right, it's by his mercy only the jivas go into the secondary path. What is the secondary path? That means the jnani who wants speculative knowledge, who wants mukti, and suddenly then he start to engage in devotional service. Okay, Mayavadi start to engage in devotional service. Okay, he called secondary path. Secondary path of the path. So that means by his mercy, he puts them in the secondary path that eventually lead them to fulfill his material desire for some time. Sometimes he just allows them to have all the material desire fulfilled, but simultaneously gives him faith. He gives him faith in the process of bhakti. So while he's enjoying this, that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, if you can't practice any of these, at least follow the rules and regulation. We follow the rules and regulation. After following the rules and regulation, that is giving up meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and illicit sex, what else can you do? Then try to engage little in my spiritual life. Work for me, Krishna says. You know, in final chapter 18, I think, 17 and 18, Krishna says, if you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, do this, do this, do this. If you can't do any of this, at least work for me. At least follow the regulating principle. Then work for me. That's the path step by step, right? So that means in that process, he shows giving the faith in the process of birth. If we are not for the mercy of the Lord, how could the living entities even become pure and enter into the position of happiness in the spiritual realm? All right. So he's asking a question. So he says, if the living entities ever become pure, all right, and enter their position of happiness in the spirit, and how they can, if we are not without the mercy of the Lord, we can't do anything. We can't even think about entering into the spiritual realm. So in Satya Yuga, now Haridas Thakur is explaining, in Satya Yuga, the Lord supplied the process of meditation. Okay, in Satya Yuga, by which rishis become purified. Who become purified? Rishis. All right, become purified. And attaining that purification, the Lord gave them the treasure of bhakti. That means by that, Krishna gave me the treasure of bhakti. Okay. Similarly, in Treta Yuga, the Lord arranged for purification by performance of sacrifice. Okay, purification by process of sacrifice. In Dwapara Yuga, the Lord gave them temple worship for purification. All right, as path leads to bhakti. All right, now let's look at this. Now, when we look at this, number one, okay. Okay. So number one, in Satya Yuga, this is number one. So this is number one. Can you see number one? Okay. Number one. Satya Yuga. Right? And who benefits from this? The one who benefits from this is Rishis. Rishis benefit. Number two, how we achieve by perform sacrifice. Right? And who achieves perfection from this? The kings and the brahmanas. Okay. Number three, temple worship. Right? Who benefit from this temple worship? The king, the brahmanas, and the vaishyas. Because the vaishyas who start to have a lot of money, they contribute and they give the money, and the king build huge temples. Now you see all the ancient temples in India, all built somewhere in Dwapara Yuga. All right, that leads to Bhakti. Right? So that means what we understand from here, in order to achieve perfection, you have to be either Rishi, Brahmana, or Kshatriya. Even Vaishyas don't stand the chance. What happened to the Vaishyas, Shudras, and others? So what is the faith for them? What is their process for liberation? You know, because in previous Yuga, you want to perform any of these things, you have to have qualification. You want to do the Satya Yuga, the things that you want to do, you must have qualification, you must be a Rishi, right? Then in Treta Yuga, when you want to do performance of the sacrifice, you must have a Brahmana who chants and poke, the fire will come out. Only the Brahmanas and this thing can do. And the temple worship, of course, the worship for purification is only can be done by the Brahmana. And of course, the Vaishyas and this thing. The Shudras, sometimes they don't enter the temple. Okay, that leads them to Bhakti. But now, all merciful Lord, seeing that pitiful states of the Jiva in the Kali Yuga. Right? So what is that? So when you see the pitiful situation in the states of Jiva in Kali Yuga, the Lord gave up hope. Right? In the process of karma, jnana, and yoga. Can you see? Right? So yoga is in so karma, jnana, yoga. So that means in Kali Yuga, the Lord gave up hope. The Lord gave up hope in the process of karma, jnana, yoga. Because why? In Kali Yuga, such troubles like short life, many diseases, decreased intelligence, and strength afflicts all jiva. Right? So what is the effect of Kali Yuga? All right. In Kali Yuga, first we have trouble as short life. No, we don't live a long life. In Kali Yuga standards, when they say when they build a car, they give a lifespan for the car. This car can last 20 years. This car can last 30 years. But in between, the car will make an accident, go on total loss. Sometimes in between, the car will become so much trouble, the owner will throw into the ditch and just walk out. So like that, there's a lot of things. Similarly, this body in Kali Yuga, all are made in such a way that we live for 120 years. The body is created in Kali Yuga for 120 years lifetime. Okay, at least 100 years. But nowadays, you see, looks like it's impossible even to pass 70. All right. As time goes on, our life is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Right. Then disease. Now we can see all varieties of disease are coming out. Despite of the modern technology who can bring coming up with all this kind of new technology, still they cannot stop people from falling sick, and all varieties of disease are coming. The third thing is decrease of intelligence. The intelligence or the process of reasoning in a human being has decreased. The people in Kali Yuga basically became foolish. They don't have much intelligence. They are so foolish, despite of all their high standard material education, they can still go behind a person who are just like him and call himself as God and follow him and worship him. That's why they are foolish people, because they don't have the reasoning power. They don't have the reasoning power. They start to call their leader as God, and suddenly they say the God, there's no God, and sometimes the sentimentalists will worship the mother as God. So that means there is so much of varieties. That means the intelligence is totally lost. Okay, decrease in intelligence. And at the same time, decrease in strength. Nowadays people are creating so much of machines like forklifts and all these kind of things. You don't even, like those days we used to wash our own clothes. We bend down, we wash, we heat, and now we don't need to do that. And nowadays we don't even need to dry the clothes. There's a dryer machine. You wash, you throw in the dryer. That's the only effort. Like you bend down, you take out the cloth and put in the dryer, and the thing will dry. Right? And now they're talking about dishwasher. I think it's becoming a popular in Malaysia already now. You don't even need to wash your dishes. After you eat, whatever, you just rinse the thing and put into like a washing machine. You put underneath, and the will wash and dry everything. Even washing, everything is used by this, what they call, is by machine. So that means they are also losing the strength. All right. So now, for that reason, okay, what Krishna say, what they call Haridas Thakur is mentioning here. Therefore, the secondary path of karma, jnana, practice of varnashram, sankhya, yoga, and jnana mixed with little devotion activities are too narrow and obstructive. Okay, what does that mean? So that means the secondary path, that means the jnani becomes a devotee, karmi becomes a devotee. Right? It's a secondary path. That's what we learned. Right? So he says, therefore, the secondary path of karma, jnana, and those who practice the varnashram, sankhya, the scientific knowledge, yoga, jnana, mixed with little devotion. All these activities, material mixed with little devotion, are too narrow. That means cannot give a full-fledged spiritual, and it's very obstructive. So now let's check on ourselves. Where do we stand? Are we on a secondary path? Yes, we all are in secondary path, because we still have that karma thought in our mind. We still have to work and want to get some money, and also think about getting some good cars, educating our children so their children will become a very successful person. There's still karma, right? Fair enough. Right? Then, of course, we only have karma. I hope so that you only have karma. You don't have anything sankhya, yoga, and jnana. Right? So we only have one of these. Okay? And with that, we mixed with devotional service. Okay? But here it's mentioned little devotional service. But I think you all are not a little devotional. That means you're having a good devotional service. Okay? So these kind of things that mixed with both are too narrow and obstructive. Sometimes when we hear people, oh, that devotee who are so materially working and this thing, and he passed away, we thought, oh, he has already gone back to God. So please, from now onwards, don't act like a Christian or a Muslim. As long as you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you definitely go to heaven. You die as a Muslim, you die as a Christian, you go to heaven. So don't ever think when we die as a devotee, we go to Goloka, Vrindavan, or Vaikuntha. The possibilities are very narrowed, because why we are really deepening our understanding in Shastra. So in that deep understanding of the Shastra, we must understand. All right, just give me a second. Yeah. So since we are deepening this, the knowledge of the Shastra, we understand. So what is the destination of a devotee? Right. So what is the destination of a devotee? Even the devotee, that the little devotion in sin. Just a few things is guaranteed for a devotee. Number one thing is guaranteed for a devotee, he definitely will take a human birth. He will not fall into abominable life. After he takes a form of a human, he will continue his bhakti, sadhana. From there, he's going to be a pure devotee. Eventually, he'll become a pure devotee. Secondly, right, the devotee may go to heaven. Heavenly life is guaranteed. No, but you can choose. Right? But what is the intention? while you're practicing devotional service, but still you're not perfecting in it. All right. So you start to think, oh, at least I can go to heaven, you will end up in heaven. But after that, you go back to the normal cycle again. Not worth it. But now what we are saying, what we are thinking is, when we are deepening our understanding in the Shastra, we are always tell ourselves, we are trying our best. Oh Krishna, please try. I'm trying my best to go back to Godhead. So that's the Krishna knows that's the intention. So at least next birth you'll take a form, you'll born into a family of a pious Brahmana, in a holy land or something like that. All right. That eventually you go back to Godhead. For some, it can be a semi-final. For some, it can be a quarter-final. For some, it can be final. But now the Prabhupada have created an option that you can make this life as your final. You don't need to go through semi-final, quarter-final, or starting the league. All right. So that is very, very important. We should understand that. So sometimes, I believe that some of you heard, oh, that's what devotee pastor, oh, he has already gone to Goloka, definitely gone to Goloka, he has gone back home, back to Godhead. So now we understand. But of course, by understanding this, we are not trying to criticize them or criticize others. That is that understanding that we keep in our heart. Because the more you become a intelligent person, all right, the more you become a very spiritually inclined person. Okay, which principle are you practicing? Which principle are you practicing from nectar of instruction? Can anyone tell me? Okay, I shouldn't say which principle. What is the result of the principle? What is the result of practicing? Which principle you are practicing? Can anyone tell me? Anyone? Is in the second verse? Second verse of nectar of instruction. Hmm? What is the second verse? Anybody home? What is the second verse? Do you have a nectar of instruction in front of you? Hello? No. Am I audible? You don't know. All right. Right. So the second one is Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. Tat karma pravartana sangatyaga sato vritti sadbir bhakti prasidyati. So Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. So the thing that we are practicing is how to become Dhairya. All right, Dhairya. Dhairya will become Dhira. What is Dhairya, first of all? Anyone? Okay, if any one of you are there, can you just put a thumbs up? I know that people are there. Oh, great. Thank God. Dhairya. Dhairya means Dhira. What is the result of the Dhairya? Dhira. Dhairya means patient. And being patient, a person becomes sober. Okay. So we become sober. So like that. So that means the result of the spiritual life, right? A person becomes sober. Okay. When he becomes sober, that is sober means what? Calm. What comes down? All the senses are coming down. Okay. All the senses are comes down. CALM, calm, calms down, right? All the senses become calm, then we stick. So like that. So we should understand that. Okay. So that means when we understand, we start to acquire all this kind of knowledge, not to show off, not to check on others. Okay, an educated person, as he becomes, the education has started to increase in him, he becomes more and more knowledgeable, he becomes more and more dhairya, sober. Dhira. You become more and more sober. So by understanding all these things, you are expected to be sober. Right? You do not need to show yourself or prove yourself. Okay, you do not need to go and tell, oh, I know all these things. Oh, when the people start to talk, you interfere and say, yeah, this, that. No need. At the same time, dhira, sober. That means you have to be sober. So when someone come and say, that person has already gone back home, go to Goloka Vrindavan, go to Vaikunta, that's Hare Krishna. Just shake your head and just walk off. You don't need to show some kind of what they call a backup. Oh, who said so? He's not gone back, because he's still karmi, he's still got some kind of activity, he's still on a secondary bhakti. All that are not necessary for you to talk. So the understanding of this knowledge is to replenish your own intelligence. So you check on yourself. We have to check and balance. Where am I standing? Am I standing on the secondary or am I going into primary? Okay. So that's the thing. Please understand that. Huh? So people can say, like I got a friend, Chinese friend, when after the father passed away, I know the father is extremely mad flirt. Just imagine what sin he didn't do, done everything. When he died, suddenly one Buddhist monk came and, during the funeral time, he's my very close friend. Funeral time, suddenly they turned around, they do all this thing. Then after that, after seeing some symptoms here and there, suddenly the Buddhist monk turned back and told my friend, you know what, your father has already gone to Nirvana. You have no worries. He has already gone to Nirvana. And once he reached there, he's going to bless you. And my friend was so excited. Then I was thinking in my heart, just imagine the things that he didn't do. He basically done everything. Right? Until he used to I don't say that. Okay, it's not necessary for me to speak all that. So, but they are sentimental. So I don't come and say, who said your father got to Nirvana? Your father had done all this kind of nonsense thing, right? You told me. And we also seen with our own eyes. Now you think your father go to heaven? Sure, he go to hell one. I cannot say that, right? So that's like that. So when people come and say anything, just yes. But you can say, but why not you just what they call? Practice what your father did, practice bhakti seriously or something like that. Okay. Because we understand. Okay, now from this our understanding is becoming more and more detailed. That means the secondary path of karma, jnana, sankhya, yoga, and all these things mixed with devotional is too narrow and obstructive. Because you want to go back home, back to Godhead, there shouldn't have any obstruction. So now, then after that, Haridas Thakur is mentioning, but the only result in Kali Yuga of this path is deviation from the path of Bhakti. The only result in Kali Yuga of this path, that means this path of karma, jnana, sankhya, yoga, and all this path is what? It is only a deviation, right? From the path of Bhakti, right? It's only a path of deviation. So when a person gets so much entangled in all this kind of path, he's basically get deviated. Thus, if one takes to this path in hope of success, in Kali Yuga, life simply becomes difficult for the jivas, right? So this is something which is not possible. So we have understood first the Chit Vaibhava, spiritual potency. Second is Achit Vaibhava, the dull material potency. And now we have spoke about Jiva Vaibhava, Jaiva Vaibhava. That means the potency of a atomic soul, right? So now we understood what is Jiva Vaibhava, right? So in Jiva Vaibhava, we have understood about varieties of ways. One of it is like attaining spiritual, they have that full spiritual potency, right? They can still make a decision, but at the same time, when they are mixed with the secondary bhakti means a jnani or a karmi who start to practice a little bhakti is called the secondary bhakti. And now the conclusion is the secondary bhakti, it is so narrow and obstructive, and the result is a deviation path of bhakti. Right? If you simply practice bhakti in this way, it's a very deviated path. Like we have seen devotees who only come and anything we need in the temple, they come forward to give donation. Anything that need to be purchased, they come and help us and everything. But other than to practice bhakti, they are not interested. So it's all called a secondary bhakti. A karmi who make a lot of money, practice a little bhakti. So when we as a devotee, we have to take the responsibility. Sometimes when I mean, especially those who are practicing devotee, full-time devotees like Charana Lakshmi Mataji and all these devotees, you all should think about this. When we want to take donation from a devotee, we should ensure that you have take a big commitment of training them up in the path of bhakti. Don't simply take money, right? That is our duty. When someone gives us donation, someone gives us dakshana, we have to take the responsibility. We, we have to take the responsibility. And what is the responsibility? That we have to encourage them. When someone gives money or gives dakshana, you have to make friendship with them. Don't simply take the dakshana and use for the temple. Don't be a don't do that. Okay. So, say example, when someone come and give dakshana, get their number, get their contact number. Can I talk to you? Or you are so kind enough to come and give us donation. Okay, one day if I'm free, I'll just call you. Try to go back and give them some prashadam. Try to give them class, engage them in something. You have to engage them. All right, and slowly cultivate them to become a devotee. That is our responsibility, right? Because that's what Krishna says. All right, what Krishna says here. I mean, what they call Haridas Thakur says. All right, so he says this word, very nice. Similarly, by the mercy of devotee, a jnani may perform bhakti. So that means the person, even though they can be karmi, jnani, or whatever situation, they still have the potential for bhakti. So we as a devotee, we have to be very merciful to go further out. Okay, to take one step out, because since we have dedicated ourselves for Krishna service, so this is our duty. All right, don't simply take money. When you want to do this kind of, sometimes you go do collection, you go to shops, asking for donation for this kind of process and everything. They give you, identify them, right? Identify them. Maybe you can put it in a small notebook. All right, I went to Rasul store, definitely give me that much. I went to ABC store, I went to XYZ store, all this. So when you have a chance, go back, respectfully give them something in return. Accepting gift and receiving gift, of course, is a loving reciprocation with the devotion among the devotees. That's why we studied that in chapter 3. Accepting, receiving. Accepting gift, receiving gift. It is the loving exchange with devotee. But in the same loving exchange you do to the karmi, it is mercy. When you are accepting donation from them, you are giving the mercy, right? They are getting the benefit. But when you go back and give them some kind of prashadam, some kind of books, some sweet talk, or some kind of cultivation, and that is also mercy. Loving among the devotees, mercy with karmis. So we must always think about that, right? So now, therefore, now we have already done the 3 major part. So now we are going into the 4th part, right? So the chief part, bhakti and the holy name. All right. So what is the chief path of bhakti? So now what the title is mentioned here by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the chief path. The chief path means what? That is the king of all paths. In Bhakti Marg, there is so many ways that you can attain Bhakti. All right. There's a Bhakti, you can attain Bhakti by a Bhakti, like with fear and awe and reverence. Okay. You can have you can achieve there's so many paths of bhakti, ways to go into bhakti. But among all that path, the chief among all the path, or the king of path, all right, is the and the holy name. That's the title that we're going to discuss. So therefore, now thinking of the welfare of the jivas in Kali Yuga, who? The Lord who's thinking the welfare for the jivas in Kali Yuga. So now what happened as now what he did as descend. Descend means came down with his names. All right, with his name. So that means the Lord in Kali Yuga, he came down in the form of a name. All right. In the form of name, it is just a kind of utterance. There is not a place in this world that doesn't have the name Hari. All right, or this thing. All right. So, like for instance, I was in Japan before. I used to go for there to purchase parts, and there's a people called Harimoto. All right, Arigato. All right, and there's a town that I used to go. The town name is in Osaka. Osaka. The place is Nara. There's a place of Nara. All right, Nara. All right, and there's a what they call? There's one phrase in Nara. That means Nara means the place they came from, the prefecture. So his name is Nara Harimoto. Nara Harimoto. So I used to call him Nara Hari. Nara Hari San. San means Mr. Nara Hari San. So and everywhere when you go to this what they call when you look at the Western world, there's a thing called rum. R-U-M, the alcohol. Let's have rum. Even later you study. Even jokingly or what, you say after the word of Krishna, you get purified. Imagine the rum. Harry. Hey, Mr. Harry. You know? So like that, Harry. Just no, like when you look at this, that side of the world, that Middle East, they call haram. Masjidul Haram. You know, the masjid also named Haram. And that haram, this haram, everything is haram. Right? When you look at the Punjabi's this thing, the golden temple is called Har Nam Sahib. You know, Har Mandir. The golden temple is called Har Mandir. Right? Har Mandir Sahib. Har Mandir. Har means what? Hari. Okay? It is the temple of Hari. Har Mandir. Right? Man means mind. Dira means that sobers your mind. Dira, that's why we study. Dira means the sober. That's why I call Mandir. The place as mind becomes sober. So now at that place is called Har Mandir Sahib. Har Mandir. So this whole world, okay, there's not a place, okay, as far, in my opinion, as far as I've noticed, right, don't have a name of, I think, how about Chinese? Is there any Chinese character, Hari, Ram, Krishna? I have no idea. Maybe Rusan Mataji must do the research. Is there any names in China, right? Because they're still, all right, with this thing. Okay, anyway, so, okay. So now, so he descend in the name, in the form of the name. So it came in the form of the name, because the name can be uttered by anyone. Even the haters can utter the name of Hari. So the Lord descend and preach the path. Then what happened? The Lord descend and preach the path for Kali Yuga, the process of Nama Sankirtan. So Nama Sankirtan means you just need to raise your hand and just call Hare Krishna, Hari Rama Govinda, like that. All right. So we don't need to have a deity, we don't need to have temple, we don't need to have anything. Just simply raise your hand and just call upon the name of the Lord. Okay. So since by the process, right? So okay, why they say call upon the name of the Lord? Okay, like sometimes when in anything, you know, they take oath in the name of the king. I will fight with you. In the name of my father, I will uphold his honor. So even in Kali Yuga, you know, people around you still think in the name of my father, in the name of my religion, in the name of my parampara, you know, because I mean in the name. So that's why the Lord came in the form of the name. And after that, what he did, he started to preach the process of Nama Sankirtan. So since by this process, the Jiva may directly achieve, right? It's not indirect achievement. It's a direct achievement of the highest treasure of Krishna Prema. So let's look at this. Please underline this word. So since the process of the Jiva, since by this process, the Jiva may directly achieve. So now we are talking about secondary or indirect approach just now. But now we are talking about direct approach, the principle. So may directly achieve what? The highest treasure. We are not talking about any other mundane. Okay, maybe Krishna got a range of treasures. Okay, this one, part 2, part 3. But what is the topmost? Prema Bhakti. Prema Bhakti means what? You will join. Like you see the photo behind me, right? It's Rasa Leela. You join with Krishna and dance with him. No? You go there and you start to what they call directly serve the Lord. You know? And you'll be sitting with the gopis and gopals, all be talking of the pastimes of the Lord. And the best thing is there's no time there, no kala. Even for devotees also no kala, right? Because if you study in Bhakti Loka, for a devotee, there's no past, there's no future. that every moment that is around, you utilize it for full benefit. Right? So now, so the process of Jiva may directly achieve the highest treasure of Krishna Prema, right? Which is actual happiness, right? Which is called the real happiness. And it is called the major or a chief path. It's the main part, as distinct from the secondary path of karma and jnana. So this thing is beyond, right? Opposite of secondary dharma. So in the process, all the jivas has to do in this process. What you need to do, all the jiva has to do is sing and remember the name of the Lord constantly. Isn't that easy? So what is in this process? In this process, the jivas has to sing and remember the name of Krishna constantly. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you imagine? Is it so hard to sing? And after that, just remember the name of Krishna, Hare Krishna. When you go on doing this, until you sleep, when you awake, like that day, Nanda Devi Mataji was telling, no, when she started chanting 64 rounds, she went sleepless. Why? When she go to sleep, the tongue don't want to keep quiet. Until she go to sleep at night. Imagine. That's the thing, right? So that's the thing, constantly remember. The remembrance of Krishna just by his form and everything, sometimes we cannot capture that. When we look at Krishna, the form of Krishna so nice, but once God, I see one Mercedes Benz, I forget about Krishna. Wow, look at the car. Suddenly I see something beautiful things. Wow, look at that person. Wow, very pretty girl. Wow, look at that, look at this, look at that, look at that. You forget the form of Krishna. Then you try to think, oh, where's Krishna now? But when you start to chant, even while you're sleeping, while you're walking, while you're looking at others, while you're staring at pretty girls, while you're looking at beautiful cars, while you're enjoying some lavish food, while you're traveling, while you're going on holiday, your tongue will not stop chanting. Your mind inside, the rhythm, right? When you hear some nice music, your mind keep reeling, right? The reel will keep running in your mind. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You are eating, you are thinking, you are sleeping, you are bathing, you are doing this, you are driving, and your mind keep playing Hare Krishna, and it's absorbed. That's when you can remember the Lord constantly. Okay. Then another thing, after that, Jiva Goswami, why Jiva? What they call? Haridas Thakur is saying, when the impure Jiva takes up the process of bhakti, who? Impure Jiva, the Jiva that is fallen, that is tainted with all bad habits, it is so rotten, this thing. So when he takes up the process of bhakti for his purification, actually is performing sadhana bhakti. Remember that we have spoke about sadhana bhakti, right? Sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, Raganuga sadhana bhakti. I hope that you all still remember that. If you don't remember, go back to the book that you have highlighted, right? Or go back to the this thing, okay? The notes that you have taken, or you can even refer to our videos, right? So now we are talking about even the jivas takes up the process of bhakti for his purification. Right? Actually, he's performing sadhana bhakti. Okay, understand? That means direct. That means what sadhana bhakti? Devotional service in practice. Right? It is devotional service in practice. Okay. So when his practice reaches purity, when you start to distinguish, somewhere either it becomes to the level of pure level. Okay, that is called and perfection. Okay, when his practice reaches purity and perfection, that is sadhya. Right? In other words, then the jivas achieve prema bhakti. Can you see? It looks like any jivas that is so much contaminated by this material existence, so much of contamination. When he simply takes up, all right, the chanting and singing and chanting and remembering the Lord, what happened? Okay, he's actually performing sadhana bhakti, or he's putting, that means he's practicing devotional service. So once he go on practicing this, even in his impure state, that's what I'm telling you. You like to eat meat, you like to drink beer, you want to do anything, all right? Of course, it is prohibited. But the problem is I can't give up. Because I'm so much entangled. So when I'm entangled in such habit, how am I supposed to give it up? I'm trying, I'm struggling. Okay. Some says, let me give up the habit and come here. No, you won't, it will never happen. You cannot give up the habit and come here. You come here, the habit will go by itself. Right? So once with all this kind of impurity you come, that's why I say when you take alcohol, you want to drink beer, just say Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu, Om Sri Vishnu. When you want to eat meat or whatever, just chew 16 times. If you don't chew, it's going to be bad for your health. When you chew, just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Like that, people have actually given up the habit naturally. Naturally, they given up and they are not going back to that. Right? So, in this kind of contaminated state, when we start to practice this sadhana bhakti, right, then we come to the level of perfection, which is called sadhya, right? That means we are becoming purity and perfection. Then the jiva achieve prema bhakti. So what we can understand from this? Do we need to take many births? Looks like no. Right? Right. So, no. Right? The jiva achieves the prema bhakti, the highest level of bhakti. Right? Then, all right. So, when the jivas achieve prema bhakti, the activities of sadhana bhakti, that is hearing and chanting of the Lord's name, etc., right, remains as the activity of prema bhakti. Right? So once they achieve prema bhakti, the activities of sadhana bhakti, that means hearing and chanting, remain. So once you also go to the level of prema bhakti, you still go on chanting and what do you call? Hearing and chanting. Okay, remain. So the principal activity of devotional service is eternal. So that means this principal service of the devotional service are eternal, is forever. Right? At the perfection stage of prema, that means once a person becomes perfected in prema, we are not talking about bhava, prema, the topmost, the perfection stage of prema. That also means sadhana. At the end, sadhya, perfection. Start from sadhana, activity, of performance, and you end in the perfection stage of prema, sadhya. All right? All right? Or the method upaya. Okay, that is to be upaya, what is to be attained by the method of upeya become non-different. Okay, so that means at the perfectional stage of prema, that is sadhana, at the end sadhya. Start with sadhana and is that. Or the method of upaya, that is to be attained by the mode of upeya become non-different. So what is upaya and upeya? We will study as we go on. Okay. Now, thus there is no barrier. There is no barrier or obstacle between the life and activities during the training and at the perfectional stage. That means there is no barrier or obstacle. So like just now you see there's a lot of barrier and obstacle. Yes or not? Because we are in a secondary bhakti. Okay. But here there is no barrier, no obstacle between the life and activities. That means living and the activities. All right. During training and at the end, perfection, and at the perfectional stage. Okay. There's no difference. Right. The holy name remains constant in both cases. Right. That means, in other words, when while you are training and while you become perfecting in your practice of bhakti, there's no difference. While you're training, you still have the benefit, and after that, okay, that means the holy name remain constant in both. In this way, what happened? The jiva can easily transcend the material world. In this way, he could just move on to spiritual world. Right? So it's 9:54. Let's take a short break and we continue. Okay. Just take a short break, around 2-3 minutes. Then we continue with the next session. Okay. Now, I think I better speak about what is upaya and upaya, right? In Malay, we call upaya. Upaya means what? Kita kena berupaya. We have to work hard. So upaya means the working towards or discipline. The discipline, the method of working hard or the method of discipline, in other words. All right. And upaya is the result of the discipline. Okay, I'm berupaya belajar medicine. Okay, I'm working to study medicine. And the result is being a doctor. So upaya means the process of discipline and upaya means the result. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what they call Haridas Thakur is saying, upaya, that means working towards, and the result become non-different. There's no different. That means while we are working towards it, even before we attain the result, we already still get the benefit. That means before we become even a pure devotee, we are still working on it, but we still have the benefit of this. That means there's no barrier and obstacle between the life and activities during the training, that is upaya, and the perfectional stage, upeya. You all got it? If you got it, please put a thumbs up. Okay, great. Okay, now. So that means we understand upaya and upaya. That means first, for instance, while I'm studying medicine, I cannot act like a doctor. But the result is after I become a disciple, I take an oath, then I become a doctor. Certified. Right? But in devotional studies, while we are in the process of chanting, while you are starting the process of chanting, right? You already achieve the level of perfection, even before you achieve it. Okay? That's why what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anyone who chants the name of Krishna, it is called Vaishnava. Okay, it's mentioned in the purport of this Satyaraj Khan and Lord Chaitanya. He says, who is Vaishnava? And Lord Chaitanya says, anyone who chants the holy name. Because there's no difference when you first time chanter or you're at the perfectional stage. It is that potent. Okay, I hope you all understand this. All right. In this way, the jiva can easily transcend the material world. Even as a first-time chanter or the seasonal chanter, you could still easily transcend this material world. So Haridas continued. Haridas means Haridas Thakur. Okay, he's speaking. Okay, now he's telling. He's humbly mentioning about himself. I am just a fallen low person, so much absorbed in sense object. Being so foolish, I did not even take up your name, O Lord. With tears flowing incessantly from his eyes, Haridas, the incarnation of Brahma, okay, Haridas, who is the incarnation of Brahma, fell breathless at the Lord's feet. Okay. Srila Haridas Thakur prays. Now, Haridas Thakur is praying that whoever is able to take refuge in the Lord, whoever could take the refuge in the Lord, right? The Lord's devotees and devotional service receives the full effect of the holy name, which is a touchstone yielding all desires. At this time, the name becomes the center of his existence, right? And who is praying for this? The one who prays this is Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So now is the final part of the chapter 1. So at the end, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur translating this, he prays. He said, whoever is able to take what? Whoever able to take refuge. Refuge means what? You become a refugee. You know, you run from one country to another country, you become a refugee. You go there and take refuge. All right, you see a cat that suddenly runs, dog chases and the cat enters your house, taking refuge in the house. That means taking protection, taking mercy. Right? That's called refugee. Right? Taking refuge in the Lord. Okay, first take refuge in the Lord. Secondly, take refuge with his devotees and taking refuge in devotional service. So what happened? He prays that that person receives the full effects of the holy name. So if you want to get the full effect of the holy name, as what Bhakti Vinod Thakur has prayed for all of us 150 years ago. He prayed for us that we will receive the full effects of the holy name. Simple process. Take refuge of Krishna, take refuge of his devotees, and take refuge in devotional service. All right? Because the touchstone, because the holy name is actually the touchstone yielding all desires. Okay? All desires means the desire of going back to Godhead, not the desire of being a millionaire, right? So at the time, at that time, the name becomes the center of his existence. So that means the holy name becomes your lifestyle. It becomes the center of your life. Okay, with that, we completed chapter 1. Right? Now we are going to chapter 2. So again, to recap, what is the title of the chapter? Oh, I have to book it. Why am I going here? Okay, the title of the chapter 1, okay, glories of the holy name. So we understood the glories of the holy name. So now we are going to the chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2 is accepting the holy name. How we should accept the holy name. All right? I hope all of you are ready. Gadai Gauranga Jaya Janava Jivana Sri Advaita Jaya Shiva Shari Bhakta Gana. In the ecstasy of prema, Haridas wept, and in prema, Gauranga embraced him. So in the ecstasy of prema, no, in the both in the great prema, Haridas Thakur wept, cried, and in the same prema, Gauranga embraced him, hugged him. So Gauranga said, the Lord Chaitanya says, where is there such a devotee as you, Haridas? Where is there such a devotee as you, Haridas? As I say, Haridas is none other than Brahma, but of course, he born in the family of Musalman. He born in the family of Muslims, or they call the Malicha family, right? Which is the considered the outcast in those days system. All right. Where is there such a devotee as you, Haridas? You know all the spiritual truth. All right. You know all the spiritual truth, and you are at times transcendental to material nature. By taking birth, okay. Now Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, by taking birth in a low family, by taking birth in a low family outcast, you have shown the world that obtaining Krishna is not dependent on wealth, honor, family, or refinement, but it is dependent on the faith alone. So what you have said, so Gauranga Mahaprabhu is saying, you have showed, you have proved to the world that if you want to achieve the success, right, it is not by born in a, by even you by taking low birth. I've shown the world that obtaining Krishna is not dependent. It's not dependent on wealth. You can be the richest man on earth. You can never get Krishna. Or if you are a very honorable person, it doesn't take wealth, honor, family, or refinement, but it's simply dependent on faith alone. You must have the strong faith. So whoever has faith, the word is whoever. That means that is a plural. That means it's a word in English that is open for anyone. Right? It is not specific to this person. But here Bhakti will say, whoever, Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, whoever, doesn't matter, whoever has faith in the process of unalloyed worship of Krishna. Okay? That means unalloyed means pure service. That means there's no mixture of Krishna. Is greater than the demigods. Oh Krishna, look at that statement that Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu made. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made a statement. Okay, but by understanding this, you should know where you stand, and your nature has to be dhira, sober, and humble. Okay, because sometimes I remember reading somewhere. We will study that in Nectar of Devotion. Okay. When we start Nectar of Devotion, we study that. It says that, Nectar of Devotion says that sometimes obtaining too much of knowledge can make one's heart hardened. Right? Can make one's heart hardened. What does that mean? Sometimes when we study too much when we start to gain a lot of knowledge, sometimes we can become into an egoistic person because I know so many things. We have seen it, right? Of course, we don't need to quote anyone, but we have seen it. We have some little extra knowledge. Oh, we think that we are hell of a great. We think that we are greater than anyone. There's a kind of ego. That means, in other words, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Bhakti Vinod, what they call, Rupa Goswami is warning that sometimes this thing can cause harden. Something I don't know where. Connecting the mind, not for remembrance, as well as the question. Meditation. Okay, and last example. Okay, I can't find the verse. Okay, but hopefully when we do our nectar of devotion, we will we will try to understand that. Anyone know the verse? Prabhu? Anyone? Celebration, etc. The verse, that's the king perform festival to
Krishna Prabhu, which verse, Prabhu? Sorry, Prabhu.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. 12248, I think 12248. Hopefully I'm right. Krishna 1.2.248. One should continue to perform daily periodically. Please, my devotees is Vaishnava. One is not muted. That would have happened. Okay. Anyway, I can't find the verse, but if I find it, I'll share it in the group later. So it says that plus object suitable, rejecting things revealed. Okay, I think I'm almost there. Daily periodic using statement. Okay, I can find it. I think 2.1.2. All right. Anyway, so why I'm saying this here, they say that sometimes, uh, sometimes because of high education, obtaining too much of knowledge can make our heart become hardened. That means we've turned into a very egoistic person. All right. But here in this group, that is my humble request. All this knowledge we are acquiring for our own nourishment, because we have the desire of going back home, back to God. We have the desire to become a pure devotee. So by understanding these, please remain what you should tell yourself now. How fortunate I am to know this confidential knowledge. How fortunate I am to understand this most confidential knowledge, which is a private discussion between Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya declares these things. He says, whoever has faith in the process of unalloyed worship of Krishna, first that means you become a pure devotee. When he becomes a pure devotee of the Lord, that person is greater than the demigods. All right. It's also mentioned that a place Why we would like to fall at the feet of the pure devotee, right? Why we want to take the dust at the lotus feet of the pure devotee? Because all the 33 million devas resides at the lotus feet of a pure devotee, right? That's another thing. I hope that we can find the verse as we go on. So that's the thing. So therefore, of course, we have not become a pure devotee yet. We will eventually one day, right? But all this understanding we should know. So that means just imagine the portent of chanting the holy name, right? So now, after that, but then after that, what they call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continues. He said, "You have understood that the name of supreme truth. You have understood that the name is the supreme truth." That means he's praising Haridas Thakur. You understood that the name is the supreme truth, both the means and the end. That means the meaning and the end result. All right, is the supreme truth. You know that. You know the full glories of the name. You are ideal in your conduct of devotional service activities, achara. Right? You are ideal. And you are learned and skillful in preaching. Haridas, Goranga says, Haridas, I request you to describe the unlimited glories of the name. I want you to describe, I request you to describe the unlimited glories of the name, for it makes me happy when I hear those glories from your mouth. So now, what happened? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking Lord Haridas to speak, right? Now let's look at this. Whoever says, now after that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is continuing, right? He says what he says, whoever says the holy name even once is considered a Vaishnava. Okay, then he gave warning, and householder should be careful to respect such a person. So that means we as a householder, whoever chances the name even once is considered a Vaishnava, and that householder should be careful to respect such a person. But one who is constantly chanting the holy name of Krishna is even better than Vaishnava. Okay? So what we understand, whoever chants the name of Krishna once, Hare Krishna once, they are considered Vaishnavas. And the householder should careful to respect such a person. So from now onwards, we know that we are living in this Vaishnava Sangha in Malaysia, because every citizen in this country chants the holy name. Hari, Selamat Hari Raya. You know, there's a shopping concert, Hari Hari, Rama Rama, the whole Malaysian citizen chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Some or other, Hari, indirectly or directly, right? So we should be very respectful. So we stop being hateful, right? So just by not hating, like now they want to break the temple in Batu Cave, simple. What place? One place in KL, right? Because I don't have any social media. I don't know what is happening around the world. But suddenly someone just think what is happening there. They say they want to break one temple in Masjid India. Yes. And people are all getting boiled up. But we do not get boiled up. All right, because we have both these, right? Then there's a bitter hatred and this and that. This fellow has taken bribe and that fellow has taken bribe and they're cursing each other. All that we are not getting involved because we are fine, because it is that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. All right, we have to be careful to respect such a person. So they fall under the Kanishta Adhikari. We mentally honor them. That's it. And imagine if you have that kind of attitude, you're going to experience tremendous peace of mind. All right, it's psychologically going to create, because you don't hate anyone. You don't hate anyone. Anyone that you see, you're going to respect them, mentally respect them. All right. Now, but those who chant this name, right, who constantly, daily chants his name, this is the person is even a better Vaishnava. That means they are Vaishnava, but if you're a chanter, you are a better Vaishnava. And this better Vaishnava, what does it mean, better Vaishnava? That you are endowed with all good qualities. Of course, the other Vaishnavas are not, they don't have good qualities. They still eat beef, they still slaughter cow, they do all these kind of things. But you as the one chants better, you are a better Vaishnava. Okay, because you are endowed with all good qualities. And one, after that he declares, and one who by his very presence can make others chant the name in devotion is the highest Vaishnava. Haribol. But if those person in his very presence, he can make others to chant the holy name, okay, name in devotion, he is a highest Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada came and he made everybody to chant the holy name in full devotion. So he's the highest Vaishnava. Now describe me. Then after that, what now? Describe. Okay. He says now, describe to me exactly. He described to me exactly. The first word he says, now describe. All right. What? Exactly. That means the details. Right? Exactly. What? All the ways. Okay. He says, describe me exactly all the ways, all varieties of ways, not one, not two, but all the ways that's available. Describe everything, all the ways that the living entities take up this name of Krishna. Okay, so that is his request. Now, folding his hands in respect. Now, what they call Haridas Thakur, folding his hands in respect, with choked up throat and tears in his eyes, Haridas began to speak. He said, first, he gave a general description of the name. He gave a general description, overall description of the name. Then what he says, the holy name is Cintamani, touchstone, right? That the object that gives everything one desires. Everything one desires, the holy name gives. All right? To the materialists, to those who are materialists, who chants the holy name, it gives dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. That means all those people who are not a devotee, who are a karmi, when they chant the name gives the person dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Right? And to the non-fruitive devotees, the devotees that don't expect this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, it gives pure, unalloyed love of Krishna. Okay? The name is unlimited, beginningless, and fully conscious, and is inseparable from the chief consciousness, Krishna. Right? So what does that mean? The name is unlimited. There's no limit to the name. Beginningless, there's no beginning, and is fully conscious. The name is fully conscious and inseparable, just like the energy and the energetic. Right? So inseparable, that means the vibhuti and chit potency, chit vaibhava. So cannot be separate. So inseparable from the chief consciousness, the chief of all consciousness, that is Krishna. Whatever is in Krishna's, whatever in Krishna is in the holy name. Please underline this statement. Whatever is in Krishna is in the holy name. What are the things that you can see in Krishna? It's also in the holy name. Because for them, they are non-different. There's no different. Like me and my name is different, right? But Krishna and him, the name and Krishna, there's no difference. Both are same. There's no non-difference. Right? Then after that, the name is eternally free. Free from what? Material contamination. Then spiritually situated. Where? In a state of pure goodness, which is called Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva. That means it is the state of a pure goodness. Okay? Like where? Like who? Like exactly like Krishna. Alright? So we cannot go to Krishna, we cannot see Krishna, we cannot hold Krishna. No, we cannot touch Krishna, we cannot do anything. But here he came and gave the name where we can relish Krishna. Relish means what? You only can relish to the tongue. I take an ice cream and put it in my mouth, relishing, wow, it tastes so good. Similarly, you can relish Krishna. Okay? Though, then after that he's continuing, though descending, even though he's coming into the material world, the name still remains pure, eternal, and embodiment of the highest sweetness, rasa. So that means even though it's descending to the material, the name still remain as pure. The name is eternal, and embodiment, that means it's full of highest sweetness. That means it's full, like we are embodied soul. That means all material covering, we infuse inside. But here, embodiment of the highest sweetness means it's full of sweet, and inside full of rasa, taste. Embodiment is fully embodied, covered by highest sweetness, rasa. Like in any object, like any object, Krishna, the absolute reality, is known by 4 characters. Okay, that means in other words, by like any other object, Krishna, the absolute reality, is known by 4 characteristics. That means Krishna is known by 4 characteristics. That means Krishna understood by 4 characteristics. Number one is name, nama, rupa, form, qualities, and activities. So Krishna is understood in these 4 ways. All right, name, form, qualities, and activities. Okay, but after that, Haridas Thakur says, but in this case, in the case of Krishna, all right, in the case of Krishna, these elements are unlimited. Okay, they are unlimited. That means they have all these power, very unlimited. Okay, the Supreme Personality of Godhead express himself by the means of these 4 elements. Okay, so that means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, what is 4 elements? Name, form, qualities, and activities. What Vaibhava is this? Can anyone tell me? Come on.
Name, form, qualities, activities.
Yeah, what Vaibhava is this? We spoke about 3 Vaibhavas just now. Which Vaibhava is this? Name, form, qualities, activities.
Vaibhava.
Huh? Yes?
Vaibhava.
Who said that?
Me, Nanda.
Oh, Nanda was great. Chit Vaibhava. Very good. Very good. Chit Vaibhava. That means we understood that this is, because I want you to remember this. Of course, because when you remember this in the future, when you're going to study some of the literatures from a great devotee, you could just remember this. This is called as Chit. Okay. We call this as Chit Vaibhava. All right. So what is Chit Vaibhava? Right now, so this is Chit Vaibhava. So Chit Vaibhava means name, form, qualities, and activities. You got it? Okay, good. Now the second question is this. Then, who is this Krishna? Krishna is what? What is the term we used to call Krishna? Where the Chit Vaibhava come from? Anyone?
Sachidananda Vigraha.
No?
Sachidananda Vigraha.
No, wrong. Where the Chit Vaibhava come from? What is the term? What is the term we call?
Spiritual.
No, not Bhagwan. No, we spoke about it just now, Prabhu.
Spiritual, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu. Krishna is
One
called what?
of a spiritual potency.
So what do you call that spiritual potency?
Internal potency.
No. Just now we spoke about it. The Chit Vaibhava is manifestation of what? Krishna. And what Krishna is called?
Vibhu.
Very good. Fantastic. That's the word. Vibhu. Right? That's a word, Vibhu. All right? That's it. So Vibhu. Or sometimes you also can, there's also term called Vibhuti. Not the Vibhuti that we put on our head. This is Vibhu. Okay? Vibhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, is the chit mean it's a Shakti, is it? Is it the chit Shakti we used to heard about?
Hey, what happened? What are you seeing now?
The chit. You know, the chit is
Yeah. Cheat, yes.
is it a form of a knowledge?
No, Prabhu.
No,
No. Last week we spoke about it. Last Friday we spoke about it. And just now also, of course, I think you came a bit late, right?
Yeah.
So you missed it. Anyway, it's like
I
this.
go about the recording later.
Sorry, Prabhu.
I go on the recording again.
Hey, no problem. I will explain to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Alright, see, number one, Vibhu is the Krishna. Okay. And the manifestation means what? See, like for instance, the sun is a globe. Yes or not, Prabhu? So Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu and Chaitanya Prabhu
Yes.
must follow me on this. So
Yes.
the sun is a globe. All right. In that sun, okay, it's like this. Okay. Okay, let me just draw something. Okay. First, there is a sun planet. Can you see this sun planet? Okay, can you see the circle I drawn? Sun planet.
Yes.
All right. In that sun planet, there is a sun rays. Okay. There's a sun is raising. Okay. There's a sun rays. Okay. So now, what is the difference? This is the sun. And this is the rays. Okay, the rays of the sun. Okay. So, which now? So the rays come from the sun. Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay, please, sir. Okay. So the sun produces the rays. So the rays is the energy of the sun. Yes or not?
Correct.
So the rays is
Prabhu, yes.
huh?
Yes.
Okay. Or the rays is the manifestation of the energy. That means the sun is a globe and it manifests, it creates the rays. Okay. So what we understand from here is like this. So the sun is called Vibhu and the rays is called Chit. Chit Shakti, Chit potency. All right. Or in other words, manifestation of okay, I don't want to put spiritual. Manifestation of potency. Okay, is the manifestation of the potency. All right. So that means the sun globe is Vibhu, and the sun globe expresses itself through the rays, and that rays is called Chit potency. So in other words, what we understand from here is this. So Krishna is Vibhu here, and his form is in the form of name, form, qualities, and activities. So that means what? That means like in any other Krishna's absolute, okay, is known by 4 characters. That means name, form, qualities, and activities. Okay, and okay, there's a term here. The word is here. All right. So that means, in other words, it's mentioned that the Supreme Person Godhead express himself. Express himself means what? He expressing himself, right, in these 4 potency by the means of these 4 elements. Okay, that means like the sun express it by the rays. Okay, like I am expressing, say, like for instance, I'm alone. suddenly I fall in love with a girl and I'm expressing my love. How am I expressing my love? By my gesture, my dressing, my smile, my sweet talk. That is expression. So similarly, Krishna expresses himself. He expresses himself through his name, through the form like Narsimhadev, Vamanadev, Ramachandra, all these varieties of forms, and through his qualities, the 64 qualities, right? And also through his activity, killing Kamsa, raising the Govardhan, like that, he expresses it. So that expression is called Chit Vaibhava. Okay, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu.
You got it, huh? Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, you okay?
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
I know you're still confused with Chit, Sachit Ananda. That is
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I know you're confused with that. All right. But now, since we discussed this, let's go on one step further. Then now you see the race. That means we see, okay, now we take the sun as Krishna, the race as Vaikuntha Loka, and there's another place called the dark space. And this dark space is called what? This dark space is called Devidam. Devidam. Okay? Devidam means the place of Devi. All right, we call it Devidam. And in this Devidam, what happened? Just now we have read. That means in that Devidam, there is a place. Where is it? Okay, there's a place in the middle. All right, the place in the middle. Why is happening to my? Okay, there's a place in the middle, right? The river, and this river is called Viraja River. So just now we studied at the opposite part of that Vaikuntha Loka, the opposite of Viraja River, there's a place called Devidam. In that Devidam, there is a 14 planetary system, right? There's a place called the 14 planetary system. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, there's a 14 planetary system. So what he says, by all the 14 planetary system, they
我
still
等一下
reach
我看我打给有心看看。
material world. Okay, it still remains in this material world. All right, very good, very good, very good. Okay, now Mataji, what is Jaivadam? Jaiva Vaibhava. Anyone can tell me what is Jaiva Vaibhava? Now we understand Vibhuti, the source, the expression, Chit Vaibhava, that is through the name and everything, which is the external, which is Krishna's everything. But in between, there's another thing called Jiva Vaibhava, Jaiva Vaibhava. What is that? What is Jaiva Vaibhava? Anyone can tell me?
Come again, Prabhu.
What is Jaiva Vaibhava?
In between, what earlier was Chit Vaibhava,
Yes.
and then your question,
Devidam is called Achit Vaibhava.
Prabhu?
Devidam is called Achit Vaibhava.
Oh, okay, and I understand.
Okay, now Achit Vaibhava. Vaibhava. All right, better write it down. So it's called Achit Vaibhava. That means it's material.
Well,
Spelling Vaibhava. Okay, you understand Vaibhava. But what is Jaiva Vaibhava? Who is the Jaiva Vaibhava?
Atomic soul.
transcendental.
Sit there. Who is the atomic soul?
Buddhist.
Very good, fantastic, wonderful. So the atomic soul that is what we call the race. Okay, what we understood from that, the example that given in that race, in the sun, there's a race, and there's many particles, right? Sometimes you can see when the particles, when the especially the water, when the water get evaporated, when the water get evaporated, evaporation, and there's a dew is going up, and the water dew goes up, and the sun hits and creates some kind of dust, like a sparkling dust. So in that, there's lot of dust, there's lot of particles, and that is Jaiva Vaibhava. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy. Good. All right. Great. All right, now we understand from this, okay? What we understand, the Lord expresses himself by the means of these four elements. All right, which takes their spiritual existence. Okay, and now we're going to learn something new by the means of the Lord's Sandini energy. What is Sandini energy? All right, Sandini. So that means we understand. So what we can understand, number one, all right, we understand. First thing is the Lord known as the characterized by the four distinct. In the case of Krishna, the element is unlimited. And Krishna expresses himself by the means of four elements, that is name, form, qualities, and activities, which take their spiritual existence, by the means of Sandini. Sandini means the internal potency of Krishna. Right? Okay. Now, Sandini. Okay, just let me double check.
Prabhu, can I ask you something?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
The spiritual potency, you're talking about Sandini, so does it include the Ladini and
Yes.
Sanvit, something like that? Is it?
Yes.
Oh, quite confusing, yeah.
Wait, let me check. All right. This Sandini potency here, it is called the middle. First is Ladini potency. Then after that, Sandini. Then the third is Samvit. All right. So Sandini potency means, okay, Sandini means it's like responsible for creating and sustaining spiritual realm. All right. The one in charge of sustaining, that means the maintainer of the spiritual planet. Okay. Potency of responsible for creating and sustaining the spiritual place, including Vaikunta planet and all other transcendental abodes. Okay, so what it says, it ensures the eternal blissful nature of this realm and free from limitation and imperfection. So in other words, Sandini potency is actually Krishna's internal energy. Okay, Krishna has three internal energy. One is Sandini, Ladini, Samvit. Okay, we don't talk about Ladini and Samvit. We talk about Sandini. Sandini energy is the one that maintains the spiritual world. You got it, Prabhu? Who is the maintainer of the material world?
Viroda Kashiya.
No, maintainer of sorry, who is in charge of this material world? Maya.
Durga.
Maya, Durga, right? So Sandini. So Sandini is the one that maintains and manages the spiritual world. Sandini potency. Ladini potency is Krishna's insight potency, his love potency. Sandini potency is the Lord's energy that controls, that maintains the spiritual world. That's limitless. Okay, or we also can call as Yoga Maya, Subhatra Devi. Right? So that means of these four elements which takes their spiritual existence. So this is the place that they take the spiritual existence, all kinds of existence in past times is happened. So how? By the means of Lord's Sandini potency, Sandini energy. Everyone, any questions? You all got it? Chaitanya Prabhu, you got it?
Yeah. This one, yeah.
So now you understand, Ladini is different.
Yes.
Ladini is heart.
But one of the things is that doubt is that actually we are talking about material world is being created, but it seems that by the Ladi this Sandini the spiritual world is also created.
No. Sandini is not created.
I see.
That's because my spiritual world is eternal. When Krishna born, nobody knows. I mean, he didn't born.
Okay.
The person who born means only a living entity can do that. But Krishna is. So when he exists, his entire potency, everything exists along with him. So he has many potency, many Shakti, right? Chit Shakti, Chit Vaibhava, all these kind of Shakti, I mean, potency they have. And one of the potency is Sandini potency. And the Sandini potency is the one that keeps the all that, the one that in charge of creating that, I mean, in charge of this spiritual world. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu.
And all the Sandini potency rest on Krishna. Okay. Others, you all understand what is Sandini? Don't confuse yourself with Ladini. Ladini is Krishna's love potency, love, mellow. The mellow came out in the form of Radharani. That's different. This is Ladini, this is Sandini. All right? Okay. Okay, so I hope everyone is okay. Rusan Mataji, how about you? Do you understand?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Prabhu,
Right. Yeah.
sorry, can you
No problem.
also refer back what about Samvit? Samvit.
Yeah, that one will be later. We don't discuss. Because now we try to understand Sandini first, right?
Okay.
Now, so now the four spiritual existence, that means of Lord Sandini energy. So that means the Supreme Personality Godhead express himself by means of these four elements, name, form, quality, and activities, which take their spiritual existence, they exist in spiritual place by the means of Lord's Sandini energy. Sandini energy is not a separated energy. It is Lord's energy. All right. By this element, Krishna attracts by this element. That means by this element means by the element of, okay. That means by the element of Sandini, by this element, what happened? Krishna attracts all people of the universe, as his name is non-different. The existence of the name in the universe serves at the same purpose, right? That means we understand that Sandini potency is the one takes care of this spiritual and everything, and also the form. That means Krishna expresses himself, the form and everything through the Sandini potency. So by the name Sandini potency, it comes down to this material world. There's no difference. There's no difference. That means it's not they come to material world and turn into a Maya or this material potency. Still, and this original form, it comes on, just like a king who goes to the prison. Sometimes the king walk into the prison to check out all the prisoners. So once the king walks into the prisoner, he doesn't become a prisoner. He still remains as a king. Just like that. That means when the Sandini potency, the Krishna comes down, he still maintains the spirituality despite being in this material. Right? So now, as the attract people of the universe, his name is non-different. The existence of the name in the universe serves the same purpose. So even the name that stays here serves the same purpose how the name is being served in spiritual world. Now, Krishna and his form are also non-different. There's no difference. And thus, his form and his name cannot be separated either. Okay? I cannot hold Krishna because we all were the personal associate of Krishna and also the associate of like Manjaris and all these things. No, we are servant of the servant. Right? That's why we are attracted to which parambara? From Brahma Gaudiya parambara. If we are the servant at the servant Dashi or something, maybe we might be attracted to what they call Sri Vaishnava. But we are attracted to what they call but we are attracted to Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Why? Because we might be the Gopis, Gopals, Manjari, Sakhis, or some creepers in this Goloka Vrindavan. That's why our attention is here. Right? Because we don't remember our past. Right? By looking at it, that might be the possibilities. Right? So that means what happened? So we are all part and parcel. So we have been serving the Lord, but of course with some nonsense desire we have fallen here. Right now, so that's why. So that means we have the difference. Krishna, my name has a difference, but Krishna and his form, there's no difference, and his form and his name cannot be separated. Can never be separated. That means his name and his form can never be separated. All right. So if one remembers Krishna's name, one will also receive Krishna's form. Okay. So as I said that we are all the eternal pastime of Krishna. We were in Krishna's Leela before. We were part of the Krishna. Associates, right? But the thing is, we that time we could see it. We could see it and relish it. But now, because we fell into this material world, that same form of Krishna came in an invisible form, but came in the form of the name that stays in your tongue, because your tongue is the highest pleasure, right? For instance, if I ask you, okay, if I ask you, okay, example, what example I can give? Think about chocolate. Just think about it. What is the best chocolate have you eaten? All right. Okay. Now try to remember the best chocolate taste you have eaten. You cannot remember the best chocolate brand that you've eaten. But when I ask you to remember the best chocolate taste in your life, you could remember one particular chocolate brand. Oh, among the chocolate, I remember that chocolate. You might have eaten 20 years, 30 years ago. You know, I still remember that like those days they used to bring chocolate. I mean, we used to buy chocolate from Singapore. My uncle, when he goes overseas, some Swiss chocolate, with some melted chocolate inside, melted meat inside. I can still remember, but I don't remember the brand, but I remember the taste. So in this world, our tongue is the most powerful element, right? So now we have lost our ability to see Krishna. But now we are given opportunity to taste Krishna, relish Krishna. Because once the thing is start to dance on your tongue, you will remember Krishna forever. That the time that you give up this material body, you go straight to Goloka Vrindavan. The blinded eyes will be activated. Now you could be able to see Krishna face to face. So that is our goal. Okay. So as for qualities, now as I said, as for qualities, Krishna has 64 remarkable qualities in fullness. All right. So I hope that you all understand. Okay, but we will study that also, 64 qualities, right? So we know that Krishna has 64 remarkable qualities. Lord Vishnu, Narayana got 60 qualities. So that's why Krishna is declared as the supreme personality of Godhead, the original form. Because the next of his creation, like Lord Narayana, got 60 qualities. Krishna has the 4 extra qualities. All right? So like that. Okay. So qualities in fullness, he has been complete, which are partially represented. Okay, now which are partially represented by his avatar. Right? So partially that means he has the full, but all his incarnation they have partially, you don't have the full. Example now is mentioned here. Okay. Right, what he says, the thing is like his Guna avatar. Guna avatar, that means like Brahma and Shiva, they have up to 64 in number. In Lord Narayana. That means Brahma, Shiva, and up to 64 number in Lord Narayana. They have 60, sorry, how many? 60 in number, sorry, not 64. Better highlight this. They have 60 in number. Okay, they only have up to 60 in number. But Krishna's name has all the eternal qualities in full. In other words, Krishna's Guna avatar, like Narayana, Brahma, Shiva, got 60. You got it? But the same Krishna's name has all the qualities 64 incomplete. So that means Krishna and his name no different. Right? And which expand to uncountable numbers. Right? We have so much of quality until you cannot know how many numbers are there. Uncountable numbers. The pastimes of the Lord take place in the waves of these qualities. So that means the pastime of Krishna take place in the waves of these qualities. In the Lord's Dham of Goloka, Vaikunta and Braja. And these are all fully spiritual. Okay. So now it's 10:52. All right. We end the session here. So we continue tomorrow. So now we open for a question. Those who have a book, please mark the page under chapter 2. the spiritual existence. In the spiritual existence. It's page 13, if you have a book. Okay. Wow, 3 hours. So, any questions? Now you understand? Chit Vaibhava, Achit Vaibhava is a manifestation of Vibhuti.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Just to clear this, when we are talking about this sadhana bhakti, why performing practice in the sadhana, this mercy of the Lord in the form, is it in the form of because of the Sandini energy is coming upon, that's why this performance are what do you call, are spiritual.
Yes. No, that's the first part we discussed today actually.
Yeah, the connection is there because of the this sadhana is not a dry thing, like we try to practice and things like that.
What we have studied just now is like this. Number one, even a person who are afflicted by jnana, karma, astanga yoga, sankhya, whatever the material mode of thing, right? When they, by the mercy of a devotee, when they start to get a little bit of chanting, okay, when they're doing all this, but they add on bhakti seva, chanting, I mean, there's chanting of this thing, right? And they actually get elevated, all right? That means when they start to practice that, what happened? That is, it is called as bhakti. And this bhakti, it is called secondary bhakti. And this secondary bhakti is also falls under sadhana bhakti. Sadhana. But by the perfection of the sadhana, that means once I've got a lot of material desire, but I come here and chant Hare Krishna because I'm so tensed up. So I chant, somewhere or other I become pure. So even the process of start chanting, even with this kind of karma in mind, karmi, being a jnani and all this kind of in mind, the purification start. Even that starting of that process is called sadhana bhakti. So it is not dry. And after that, Krishna says, I mean, Haridas Thakur says, correct? Upaya and Upeya. Upaya means the process of practicing or training, or in other words, like a training, right? Process of starting. That means I start my Upaya. In Malay also we call Upaya, right? I'm putting my effort or discipline. Okay, I've tried. Okay, starting. Then after that, the result of the training is the result, Upeya. All right. So what Haridas Thakur says, even you start it, you still consider you achieve the highest perfection. Even you haven't achieved the form of Upeya. So the example I gave is like this. If I am doing a medical degree, I'm not a doctor. I'm a student. While I'm doing a medical degree, I cannot go and say, I'm already a doctor. I can start treat patient. No. Right? There's a difference. But here, while I start chanting, I already achieved the highest perfection. Right? But the continuous chanting will make you perfect. So there's no difference in Upaya. That means starting it and achieving perfection in it, there's no difference at all. That's why we say, no matter what, start chanting the Hare Krishna. Have I answered you, Chaitanya Prabhu?
Yeah. This one will be all quite is coordinate. Yeah. Okay.
Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, I saw you raise your hand. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhu. Prabhu, you said that Sandhani Sakti maintains the spiritual world. What is that to maintain the spiritual world, Prabhu?
That Sandhani Sakti is one of the potency of Krishna that maintains the spiritual world.
What is that maintained there, Prabhu?
To assist Krishna in his pastime.
Okay.
To assist Krishna in his pastime. When we, the one is quite detailed, but sometimes like in one book, I don't mention the name because it is not allowed to read. Like for instance, in that book, it says that when Krishna and Radha meets up,
Yeah.
Sita Devi, the Tulsi Maharani, is the one who set up the scene.
Yeah.
He set up environment. But the one who sets everything, the groves, the trees, the mangoes, and everything, is Sandini. And Sandini, Maya.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Maya. You are confusing, lah. Which is which? The one in this material is Yoga Maya or Mahamaya? Mahamaya. Sorry, you see, I'm confused. Can anyone help me with that? I'm always confused with these two terms. The
Mahamaya is internal potency. Prabhu. Maya is spiritual material.
Mahamaya is material, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that means Mahamaya, Yoga Maya.
Yeah.
Yoga Maya is the one in charge of spiritual world.
Oh,
And
yeah, I'm not so sure. I think Maya is internal. I also got confused.
Anyone can help me, please? Yoga Maya.
Mahamaya Durga, I think.
Okay, let me check.
Yeah, Prabhu. Maya is internal, Prabhu.
Oh, Yoga Maya is spiritual. Okay.
Yoga Maya is spiritual. Maya is also spiritual.
Mahamaya. Yeah.
Mahamaya.
Yoga Maya in charge of this spiritual world.
Yeah.
Is like a Krishna's secretary.
Yeah.
Mahamaya is in charge of this material world.
Durga.
Durga. So the Yoga Maya is the one that came in the form of Subhadra Devi. You know, when Krishna came,
Yeah.
Jagannath gave Subhadra. And that Subhadra is Yoga Maya.
Yeah.
So Yoga Maya is a secretary.
But
right?
Maya is also internal potency, Prabhu. Maya, not Mahamaya. Maya.
Oh, got such thing. I've not heard about that, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu. It is there, in Bhagavad Gita also. Maya, Prabhu.
Is it Maya or Mahamaya?
Mahamaya is already Durga Devi, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Maya is Krishna's internal potency.
Really, yeah? I've not heard about that, Prabhu.
Maya
Divine
is
spiritual
of it. Maya.
it's like the powerful force that binds living entity to the material world, creating an illusion duality. Daivi Kesha Guna Mai, Mama Maya, Prabhu. You're talking about Maya or Mama Maya?
My energy, my energy.
Mayam Eta Tarantite, that translate the divine energy of mind. Your meaning that one? Consists of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it. Here Krishna emphasizes Maya is his external energy, not internal, which is challenging the transcendent without surrendering to him. Right? So
Yeah.
I think you are referring to Guna, what they call Mama Maya. Mama Maya means my Maya.
Yeah.
Not Maya. Mama Maya. So the translate is you can refer the verse in chapter 7, text 14. Chapter 7, text 14. Say Daivi Yesha Guna Mayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Mam Evaye Prapatyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. The translation says that the divine energy of mind consisting of the three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it. That means here it says the divine energy of mind. Right? Because what I've heard is only there's two Maya, Mahamaya and Yoga Maya. Okay, Prabhu?
Prabhu, Hare Krishna. This again this what energy the spiritual energy and this inferior energy is also energy of Krishna.
Yeah.
So they are considered, all these also considered a divine energy. Only one is internal, one is external or separated or something like that.
See, there's a three types of energy: internal energy, Shakti, external energy, internal energy or spiritual energy. External energy is no, they call what is it called? Material energy. What is the term they call it? Material energy, and in between we call marginal energy. All right. So it's also mentioned that the external energy of Krishna, okay, Tatastha Shakti, yeah, Tatastha, external energy of Krishna, which is material, is also eternal. Why it is eternal? Because it's created by Krishna. It's part of his energy. It's eternal. All right. But that place is only a shadow. Okay.
Yes, clear. Yes, clear. Yeah.
But that place is the place has no. It's a place like like shadow. There's to say, as I showed just now, example, when the sun rises, I put there's a shadow in front. So it's only a shadow. So as long as my thing is there, but the shadow is true because my head is there. But the shadow has life. No, the shadow is unconscious. It's not mentioned in this. In the first 1 hour, Prabhu, when we discuss all this in 8 to 9, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So you can refer to the recording later.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else got any question? Right. So tomorrow we meet at Rising. Is it 8 o'clock? Okay. Okay. Because tomorrow I have to meet at 8 o'clock. We do because tomorrow the end of this SGM KL youth camp. So I have to go and okay, I have to go. I think most likely I'll be leaving at all right. So around 10 because it's afternoon. By afternoon is over. So I have to leave by 10:30. So we meet tomorrow at 8 o'clock and we do until 10 o'clock, 8 to 10.
Okay,
Okay.
Prabhu.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then after that, I need to go and fetch my children from the youth camp. Of course, there's a Bhakti Bharhat Bhagavata Maharaj and all these great devotees are there. I also want to go and associate with them. All right. So thank you so much for your time and your commitment. It's my great pleasure to serve all of you through your enthusiasm. I'm feeling very much enthusiastic. Okay. Vancha kalpaturvischa, Prabhasindhivevacha, Paditanam Pavinivya
Namaha.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai,
Hi.
Thakur ki jai, Haridas Thakur ki jai. Ora Premanandi. Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.
Ora Hari.
Thank you.